To protect people from the threats of nature, the nation of Blue Moon arose. The king of Blue Moon ruled wisely, granting the people peace and justice. Suddenly, the monarch's face twists in horror. The peaceful days are coming to an end. A rebellion ignites from within, and a treacherous blade pierces the monarch's back. War consumes the nation, turning it into a hell of hatred and ashes. Countless lives are taken by cold steel, leaving behind only death and destruction. The warriors have abandoned honor and compassion, sparing not even the defenseless. But a hero in a red mask appears, crushing the rebel leader and ending the war. The grateful people give a name to the savior who returned peace and hope to them. He is called the Red Man, a hero holding the defeated tyrant. 100 years pass and the school principal begins his story. A student boldly asks why they live in the slums instead of Blue Moon. The boy next to her answers gloomily, "Because we are the villains in this story." The principal, standing at the podium, prepares to reveal the harsh truth. He announces to the class, "Each of you is a descendant of the rebel forces." The students are stunned, realizing the weight of their past heritage. The principal reminds them, "Remember, you 9 are not to blame for this." The lesson ends, the principal closes the book, leaving the students with their thoughts. Lunchtime arrives and the children gather to help Mr. Kim. Mr. Kim, a humble gardener, diligently picks berries in the school garden. Mr. Kim wipes his sweat and sighs with relief after working in the garden. The children rush to him in a crowd. "We came to help so we can eat lunch faster." With a basket of berries, Mr. Kim waves to them kindly. "Let's go." At lunch, red-haired boy Hajin grimaces. "Ugh, beans again?" Hajin dramatically turns away from his plate. "I'm not going to eat them." The gray-haired boy reproaches him. "Hajin, you can't only eat what you want." Hajin puts a finger to his lips, shushing the others. "Shh! Quiet!" Mr. Kim approaches the table. "Hajin, you have to eat beans too. Do you know why?" The boy with green hair answers briskly, "I know, people starve in the slums." Mr. Kim gently corrects him. "That's true, but mainly so you grow up healthy." Mr. Kim stops Paikson. "Don't eat off the floor!" Paikson is puzzled, and Kim asks him to spit out the dirt. "I eat everything." The principal exclaims in surprise upon learning that Paikson swallowed it all. Mr. Kim introduces himself. "My name is Kim. I'm an elementary school teacher." He covers the children with blankets. This is the only school in the slums, more like a shelter. Kim smiles and hugs the children. "Here it's just me, the principal, and 9 kids." After fixing something, Kim thinks, "But I cherish them more than life. What are they up to?" The boy in the red hero mask announces, "The Red Man has arrived. I will stop this fight." A girl approaches him. "You're a hero again? Let me be the Red Man too." The masked boy replies angrily, "No, I'm faster, so I'll be him." The boy looks surprised as the teacher intervenes in their argument. Mr. Kim takes the mask from Taishin. "You again, Taishin?" Taishin asks for the mask back. "We were just playing hero." Teacher Kim reminds them, "You can play, but you can't take others' things without asking." Kim asks Maru, the boy with the book, to play soccer with the children. Maru with the book replies, "But I don't want to." And Kim reminds him, "You're the oldest here." Taishin and the girl cheer, "Hooray, soccer!" Maru looks displeased. Taishin runs off with the ball, calling others, "Hyun, Nuna, let's go play." Mr. Kim waves at them with a smile. "Be careful, don't fall." Left alone, Kim looks at the mask. "All right, I need to put it back." Kim holds the red hero mask, examining it up close. Teacher Kim closes his eyes, his face showing a strange tension. Suddenly, Kim's eyes flare red, reflecting an ominous light. The school principal suddenly appears behind Kim, asking, "Ah, so here is my mask." Kim flinches and the principal inquires, "Did Taishin take it again?" The principal grumbles that Taishin likes this sinister mask, but Kim objects, "It's ordinary." Kim apologizes, realizing the principal values the mask, who replies, "It's all right." The principal asks Kim why he called the mask sinister while the children play downstairs. Kim, wiping sweat, admits, "Touching it made my heart beat faster, as if..." The principal looks intently and Kim finishes, "As if I were an enraged man." The principal smirks. "That's quite..." He laughs. Funny to hear that from someone who's never been angry. The principal tells Kim, "Enough about that, rain is coming soon, gather the laundry." On the roof, Kim and the principal take down the dried clothes from the line. Kim looks at the cloudy sky. It got gloomy, but it was sunny this morning. The principal speaks seriously. Mr. Kim, there's a strange rumor going around. He continues. People in suits are kidnapping children in the district. The principal asks Kim to be vigilant as a guardian, and Kim agrees. Below, the red-haired boy swings at the ball, shouting, "Here I am!" He strikes the ball hard, shouting, "Goal!" Maru, confused, lets the ball pass while standing in goal. Hajin yells at the girl, "You're playing badly!" And she snaps back, "Shut up!" Taishin runs after the rolling ball. "I'll get it back." The ball rolls under the goal where a truck stands. Taishin is surprised. A heavy downpour begins, pounding on the windows. The principal and Kim thank girl Soyun for helping with the candle, holding laundry baskets. Soyun modestly replies, "No thanks needed," holding the candle. A sudden shout of "Teacher!" makes Kim and the principal turn around. Out of breath, Taishin runs into the room looking frightened. Kim anxiously asks Taishin what happened. He mumbles, "Those creepy..." Taishin cries out, "Those creepy people took everyone!" Kim asks in shock, "Took them? Kidnapping?" A stranger appears in the doorway. "Ho ho, this is not kidnapping." A creepy man in a robe introduces himself as scientist Nogel from Blue Moon City. Nogel looks madly. "We are looking for talents, and we were lucky to find 9 here." Kim holds Taishin, puzzled, while Nogel laments the lack of lips for a smile. The scientist grimaces. "So you're the kidnapper from the rumors?" Behind Nogel appear people in suits. He announces, "We are human traffickers. We will kill you and take the children." A scarred man reproaches Nogel for talking too much. Nogel just laughs. The gang leader smirks maliciously. "Who would have thought we'd find so many children here?" The suited men advance. Their leader points at Taishin. "We'll take this child too." The principal desperately shouts to Kim and the children, "Mr. Kim, get out of here immediately!" The principal resolutely blocks the gangster's path, spreading his arms. "You shall not pass here." Close up, a shot just fired from a smoking gun barrel. The principal stands with a bloodstain on his chest, while a gangster mocks, "Idiot, trying to stop us alone?" The gang leader with a pistol snickers. "Looks like you can fight, huh? But I've seen this countless times, I'm tired of it." He continues, aiming at the principal. "I have no time, so stop stalling and just die." The leader shoots again. A shell casing flies from the pistol as a flash lights up his hand. The children watch the fallen principal in horror. Taishin whispers, Teacher," while the leader commands, "Take the children, we leave before sunrise." Taishin and Soyun desperately shout, "Let go, teacher!" trying to break free from the kidnapper's grasp. 3 flashlights fall to the ground with a dull thud under the pouring rain. 2 kidnappers lie unconscious on the floor, their weapons scattered nearby. Kim lies on the floor, his gaze blurred, whispering, "What is happening?" Kim's broken glasses lie nearby. He can't believe the rumors were true. The school in the rain. Kim recalls how this place became a paradise for him and the children of war. A flash of memory. Kim smiles happily, hugging the children, dreaming of eternal peace. This happy picture of the past shatters into pieces just like his dream. A tear flows from Kim's eye, mixing with blood. This is a nightmare. The wounded principal, breathing heavily, leans over Kim. "No, this is reality." The principal's face is twisted in pain, but he is firm. "I wanted to protect the children by creating this school." The principal clutches the wound on his chest. "But I failed so miserably, so..." He looks at Kim, pleading, "You must protect tomorrow and the future of these children." The principal falls beside Kim, who now wears the red mask. Both lie in pools of blood. Close up, a bloody handprint on Kim's red mask. Kim's eye behind the mask widens with rage and realization. Kim in the mask lets out a beastly roar, his eyes burning with red fire. Outside, rain pours. A gangster asks, "Has it been 10 minutes already?" By the truck in the rain, 2 discuss departure. Why drive the truck separately, in case of a chase? One kidnapper pushes a child into the van. "Why us with the kids? Hey, get in faster!" Another gangster lights a cigarette before leaving. The driver impatiently says, "Let's go." "Wait, 1 cigarette. Again?" The gangster under the umbrella finishes smoking, complaining, "Smokers don't realize they bother others." The truck driver drops his cigarette in horror. "Who even invented cigarettes?" He leans out the window and shouts in panic, "What happened?" A huge bloody fist crashes into the side of the truck with a crash. A voice says, "Hey, you're in." A no-smoking zone. Kim in the mask stands over the defeated gangster. The terrified driver looks at the red mask with the burning eye. Who are you? The driver's foot slams sharply on the gas pedal. The truck speeds straight toward Kim, who stands motionless. Kim stops the speeding truck with one hand. It rears up. How dare you! It spins the massive machine, preparing to charge. Kidnap my children! A girl peeks out of the truck, holding her head. Oh, my head. Close up, a gun cocked and ready to fire in the rain. Kim in the mask chokes a gangster, pressing the barrel to his temple against a lightning backdrop. The choking gangster gasps in horror. What kind of monster are you? The rescued girl, shocked, recognizes him. Red Man. Kim looks at his bloodied hand, pondering. He straightens up, covered in blood and rain. I am an elementary school teacher. Someone's lips utter ominous words. People's status is predetermined from birth. A speaker at a podium with the BM emblem proclaims, We, holders of noble blood, the blues. On a red background, a crowd of poor people. The voice continues, And you with dirty blood, the reds. The speaker continues, Remember this difference for life. We and you are different. In the classroom, Kim in the red mask shouts desperately, It won't come off! He panics, clutching his head, trying to tear off the stuck mask. Close up, Kim tears at his skin, screaming, Get off me, damn it, my neck's about to fall off. In uncontrolled rage, he throws a piano across the room. Kim's eye behind the mask blazes. He breathes heavily. Because of it, my anger won't subside, teacher. The rescued girl peeks from under a desk. Teacher, are you the red man now? Kim angrily throws a chair aside. No way! Do I look like that hero? He looms over the girl, growling, I'm just a monster! A monster! The girl recoils in fear, a tear rolling down her cheek. Teacher, you scare me. Kim in the mask turns away, restraining himself. Stop crying, speak properly. Ugh. He grabs his head, the mask seeming to press on him, intensifying his inner struggle. The girl sits on the floor, her eyes full of tears and fear of the teacher. Kim violently bangs his head on the floor, apologizing. Forgive me. He admits, bowing. No matter how angry I am, I shouldn't take it out on you. I'm not myself. The teacher asks the girl, Will you give me some time to think? She quietly agrees. A fresh grave mound with a wooden cross and a shovel nearby in the silence of the forest. Kim in the red mask sits before the grave, lost in thought. He looks at the principal's grave. Principal, who was he, and why did he have that mask? A man lies sprawled on the ground, and a voice off-screen asks, Why is that bastard here again? Gangsters brutally beat the man, shouting, We told you, you're done if you get caught again. One attacker spits, What a waste of effort, he doesn't even react. Beaten half to death, he remains lying on the ground, staring into emptiness. An old man leans over him. You were beaten half to death. How will you survive in this cruel world being so weak? The wounded man replies, What's the point of surviving in this cursed world? The old man smirks. You whine like a child. The old man offers, There's a perfect place for a child like you, follow me. Wah-at! His scream of surprise echoes over the school building. Confused, with a bruise under his eye, he asks, You treated me like a child and now you want me to become an elementary school teacher? The old man with a broom replies, Thinking a teacher only teaches is a prejudice. Besides, I can't make an adult like you a student. He exclaims in despair, Someone like me can't be a teacher. I followed him because I had nowhere else to go, but I'll run away soon. Kim, still without the mask, shines, ready for his new role. The principal hopes for his help, and Kim admits he's fully accustomed. Kim asks the principal why he chose him specifically. He thinks there are people in the slums tougher than him. The principal answers that he understood everything just by looking into Kim's eyes. This guy is a simpleton, the principal thinks, seeing Kim's naivety. You're foolishly kind and weak, says the principal. That's why I liked you. The principal notes that Kim has never been careless with children. For you, children are equal to the teacher, says the principal. That's why you're here, Teacher Kim. Teacher Kim, I believe in you, says the principal. If anything happens, you'll take my place. Children run joyfully to the teacher. Teacher! Thought, children need a school. A girl tearfully pleads, Don't leave. Kim in the mask crouches before her. No, it's dangerous. He hugs the crying girl. Yes, it's dangerous. Kim comforts her. But I must save the children. He strokes the girl's head. They are our family. Kim continues to soothe Soyun. You've always helped me. Soyun hugs Kim's neck. You must come back. Kim promises the girl, I will come back, I promise. Kim in the mask begins searching the dark slums where despair reigns. A sudden scream of terror echoes from a dark alley. Someone is clearly frightened. A masked man looms over a vagabond. Did a truck pass here yesterday? Kim mutters there are no traces here either. The frightened one whispers, "The demon?" He reflects, costumes and a truck in the slums. This is clearly not a simple matter. Suddenly Kim stops, realization dawning. Wait a minute, I'm sure then. A memory. A creepy scientist introduces himself, Nogel from Blue Moon City. Nogel, with a frightening smile, declares he is searching for young talents for the city. Kim's eye flashes. That scientist said he was sent by Blue Moon City. The realization shocks Kim. So this isn't an ordinary gang? The city itself is behind this. Kim is furious, his eye burning. Those bastards! I'm going right now! The massive gates of Blue Moon City, guarded by sentries, inspire awe. A guard is handed a document. Senior, an official report just arrived. The report states, a white truck from the Gourmet Company sent to the slums did not return. The senior guard smirks with a cigarette. Idiot! What's the point of feeding these useless ones? He irritably continues. Now they were slaughtered there and they're gone. I have to clean up this mess again. Suddenly the guards notice a massive figure in a cloak approaching in the distance. One shouts, The fearless vagabond came to gawk? Stop right there! Kim approaches the senior closely. These are the main gates of Blue City. Why are you here? Kim replies, I'm looking for the white truck, causing surprise and suspicion in the guard. The guard angrily demands a report, while Kim thinks of the children and the Gourmet Company. Kim calmly says fine, and immediately delivers a crushing blow to the guard. He slams the senior into the ground, saying, Here, take this. The junior guard screams in horror, Senior! Kim addresses the remaining guard. Who among you knows the way to the Gourmet Company? The one who answers will live. The terrified guard opens fire, shouting, Die! Kim easily dodges, throwing his cap at the guard. Listen until the end when someone is talking to you. The fallen guard panics and promises, No, I'll take you to the Gourmet Company. The guard points to the huge gates. There's a problem. They only open from the inside. We'll have to wait. They'll open in 6 hours with the moon, he adds, thinking maliciously, and I'll call reinforcements and you're done for. Kim grabs the guard by the collar. Too late. Masked, he soars upward, carrying the guard with him, the ground cracking beneath his feet. Kim climbs the giant gates, using the guard as support. Reaching the top, Kim throws the screaming guard down. The guard desperately clings to the edge while Kim stands above him. Stop fussing, watch carefully, Kim says, his eye glowing threateningly. From the height of the gates, Kim surveys the city. Where is the Gourmet Company here? Narrator. 100 years ago, after the failed uprising, the exiles led a miserable existence. Narrator. Former comrades fought over scraps, their unity broken, each went their own way. Narrator. Over time, their descendants divided into districts: Slum Street, Fashion Street, the Red Light District, and Cemetery. Narrator. And the heroes who defended the nation received their rewards. Narrator. On the ruins, they built the Blue Moon City, a stronghold of wealth and honor. Kim examines the half-ruined buildings. Wealth and honor? Here are only ruins. He drags the guard through abandoned streets. Only the size impresses, everything else is dead. Kim mockingly asks, They said Blue City is made of gold? Isn't that a bit too fairy tale? The guard explains, Everything by the wall is abandoned. Normal buildings are in the center, like Gourmet. The guard panics, thinking, Here's the problem. No one will save me here. He tries to deceive Kim. If I lure him to the center, straight ahead, then right. Kim, without looking at the direction, says, Oh? The guard realizes in horror, But that's not the way. Suddenly a stranger corrects the guard. To Gourmet, it's left, not right. The guard panics and Kim turns to the voice. A woman asks who he is. Kim grabs the guard by the throat. Did you think I was joking? The guard begs for mercy. The stranger thanks for the information and again asks who he is. The girl introduces herself as Panda, a teacher from Fashion Street, and notices his slum-like appearance. Kim is surprised by the mention of Fashion Street, and Panda explains it's far from the slums. Panda says that Fashion Street is run by the sewing business Finger Chain and asks about him. He introduces himself as Kim, a teacher from the slums, which excites Panda. Panda suggests going together since they have a common goal. The guard despairs at another stranger. The guard imagines a life sentence. Letting a stranger through is a grave crime for a gatekeeper. Panda wonders why Kim is dragging the guard. He thinks, "My life is over." Water drips from an old faucet into a dark sink, creating an ominous atmosphere. Bare feet tremble on the cold floor. The girl looks around. "This place?" She sits in horror in a corner, surrounded by meat carcasses and wrapped bodies. "Where am I?" With a gag in her mouth, she recalls, "I was coming back from school when suddenly a white truck appeared." In her memories, she and her sister are surrounded by suspicious men in black. Tied up, she worries about her sister. Is she still somewhere? Hands tied, dark, can't check. Suddenly, the girl freezes, hearing footsteps. "Someone's coming!" She anxiously looks at the door from which heavy steps are heard. The door opens, and a terrifying figure of a butcher with a cleaver appears on the threshold. The girl looks at the butcher in horror. Her mouth is taped shut. The butcher's monstrous face approaches, emitting a guttural sound. The butcher approaches one of the wrapped bodies on the table. He lifts the heavy bundle like a sack. With a dull thud, the body falls to the floor in front of the girl. From under the bandages on the bundle, a bloodshot eye is visible. The girl freezes in fear, staring at the discarded body. The butcher places the bundle right at her feet. She cannot look away. She desperately tries to crawl away, trembling all over. A thought flashes in her eyes. So it's not just me and my sister who were captured. The girl, horrified, realizes, all these bundles in the room, they are people. The door creaks again, and she anxiously thinks, could he have come back? A man in a mask appears in the doorway. "Found you." The stranger whispers, "Shh, are you Rai? I came to save you," and shows an emblem. Rai recognizes the sign, Finger Chain. They sent him from Fashion Street. The rescuer explains he got lost studying the building plan and promises to get her out. He lifts her in his arms, trying to calm her. "I know. It was scary for you to be alone at that age." Rai moves and tries to break free, and he orders, "Quiet." Worry flashes in his eyes. What if we get caught? Suddenly, a creepy white mask peeks through the slightly open door. Bloodstains are visible on the floor. The creepy white mask with stitched seams peers into the room. The monster sniffs, smell unfamiliar male scent. The rescuer tenses with a knife. "A monster? What a horror!" The creature's mask opens its mouth. "Can a man be eaten? Bon appetit." Close-up. A monstrous, toothy mouth emerges from the cracked mask. Meanwhile, Kim, Panda, and the guard arrive at their destination. They are greeted. A smiling man in uniform introduces, "Gourmet Company, we sell trust." Panda examines the shelves. "Wow, so much. Meat, fish, vegetables. I'm here for the first time." The manager boasts, "Gourmet products undergo strict selection. We're expanding soon." He asks Panda with interest, "Is this your first time here?" She cheerfully replies, "Yes." The manager apologizes, "Today is for club members only. Come back tomorrow." Panda sighs disappointedly. "Is that so? That's a pity." Other employees intervene. "Since they came, let them buy and leave." The manager reluctantly agrees. "Not by the rules, but there's no choice." Panda beams. "Thank you. Do you sell human meat?" The manager is stunned. "Human meat? Never heard of that." His face distorts in horror. "Human meat?" The guard panics and shouts at Panda, "What are you saying? They can't sell such horror!" Kim tenses behind his mask. His eye gleams ominously. Human flesh. Cannibalism. The manager replies with icy calm, "Yes, of course, we sell it." The manager adds, "But our clients don't call it that." He looks around suspiciously at them. "Your clothes and strange appearance raise questions." The manager interrogates, "Where did you get information about this place?" He looks at the armed employees surrounding them. "Who are you?" Kim is furious, thinking, "You tell me who the hell you are." His red mask cracks as he growls, "Even on Rotten Street there's no cannibalism." Kim's mask shatters into pieces. He shouts, "Where are they?" Kim's face is twisted with rage as he yells, "Where are my children?" Panda tries to calm him. "According to my data, Gourmet doesn't touch elementary school kids." Kim breathes heavily and Panda continues, "Even if they took them, they wouldn't have eaten them." Panda explains with a smile, "I'm in a hurry because they sell teenagers." Kim's red eye glows ominously. His mask begins to restore itself. Panda notices. The mask is intact. That means the children are definitely here. Clenching his fists, Kim growls, "They're waiting for rescue. I must find them immediately." The manager, surrounded by subordinates, states, "I understand you're the guardian of the kidnapped." He coldly orders his men, "We won't return the valuable goods. Kill them all." Kim, in his red mask, prepares to fight the attacking employees. From under Kim's mask comes, "You won't have to apologize." The faces of the employees distort with wild terror. They scream in fear. A powerful blow from Kim pierces one of the attackers. Blood splashes. Kim scatters the enemies with a mighty strike, shouting, "I will bring them back." The employees panic. "That bastard, we have to beat him. He's strong as a bull. Attack together." A crowd of butchers with knives and bats rushes at Kim. Close up, cleavers and knives fall on him from all sides. Weapons strike his muscular body but leave no marks. The attackers are shocked. He's not bleeding. From Kim's wounds, red threads ooze instead of blood, frightening the enemies. What are these red fibers? Bent knives fall to the floor. One of the bandits whispers, "Bullets don't take him either. Knives are useless." Kim fiercely counterattacks, scattering opponents. Someone asks in surprise, "You didn't know?" One of the butchers in fear, "Is he immortal? The wounds close before our eyes." Panda comments, "Now it's clear why he came alone. The Red Devil." The guard asks Panda confusedly, "What should we do?" She replies, "Of course we'll help Kim." Panda and the guard rush forward. He exclaims, Got it!" The guard's face distorts with horror. He realizes, this is not right. The guard is torn. Help the intruders or the criminals? "Whose side am I on?" Panda rushes at one of the butchers. He smirks, "Ha!" Close up. Panda's determined gaze, her yellow eyes sparkle. Panda delivers a powerful punch to the butcher's face. Blood splashes. The butcher, furious, clutching his broken nose. "That bitch!" Panda hits him on the head with a briefcase. "How about some more refined expressions?" The guard admires Panda. "Nuna, you fight great." Panda replies, "On the street, it's necessary." Panda adjusts her glasses and shouts defiantly, "Teacher saving students is strong. Come on, everyone at me." A crowd of enraged butchers with weapons rushes at Panda with wild screams. Panda is slightly puzzled, nor did I overdo it. Suddenly, Panda turns and runs away. The guard looks after her in surprise. "Huh?" The guard panics and shouts, seeing Panda running from the pursuing crowd. "Nuna!" The camera moves to a luxurious hall. Gourmet Company, an underground restaurant. A waiter in a mask and formal suit stands in a richly decorated hall with a tray. On the plate is an exquisite dish. The main dish of tomorrow's banquet, scallop steak. The chef presents the dish to the guest. "I prepared this with our new signature sauce." The guest tastes the dish. His sharp teeth bite into the piece, but he is dissatisfied. Not good enough. The fork is forcefully stuck into the table. The guest shouts, "The taste is bland and not fresh enough." An important gentleman in a blue suit with a monocle is furious. "Very important guests arrive tomorrow. Is this all the best Blue Moon restaurant can offer?" The chef drops the plate, apologizing to the angry guest who demands something special. Chairman Hywell O from Gourmet Company asks, "The girl we recently brought in, how is she?" The chef excuses himself. "I apologize. If the dish was unsuccessful, it's only because the ingredient came from a dirty street." Chairman Hywell O, wiping his mouth with a napkin, waves it off. "What difference does it make where from? She will be the main dish of the banquet." The tied girl sits on the floor next to a bloody hand with a knife. The order, "Bring her. We need to put on a great show for today's clients." The guard and Panda look up in shock. The guard exclaims, "Whoa, oh!" Kim stands with his back turned, and bodies of fallen enemies fall from the sky around him. A rain of people. The butcher screams in horror, "Monster!" Kim looks at him menacingly. You are the monsters who devour people. Panda approaches Kim. The mask interferes with my thinking. Panda smiles slyly. I know where the children are. Panda shows an embroidery on her finger. A secret sign. Kim examines the embroidery. An interesting little thing. Panda explains, this is the work of Handsome from Fashion Street. Panda leads Kim. This way. A bound girl stands on the stage. The price for a part of her body is announced. Disgusting. The auctioneer in a mask announces the price for a body part. Hands reach up. The audience is delighted by what is happening. Someone smirks maliciously. To discuss that, due to the rarity and freshness of the goods, prices are very high. The restaurant menu shows that all body parts are sold, from which dishes are then prepared. The auctioneer announces that the auction is unfortunately over, and now... The butcher with cleavers shouts eagerly, chop, tear, cutter! The crowd cheers. The executioner in a mask and apron with a huge cleaver approaches the bound girl. The girl is horrified, tears streaming from her eyes. No, I don't want to die like this. She thinks about her sister and who tried to save her while the villain smirks. In despair, the girl whispers, please, someone. Her desperate cry for help echoes in the darkness. A red eye blazes with hope. Suddenly, a red beam pierces the ceiling, crashing down on one of the butchers below. The bound girl looks up in horror as debris falls around her. A gentleman with a monocle is shocked, his fanged mouth wide open in amazement. Recognition flashes in the girl's eyes through tears. Red. Before her appears a muscular figure in a red mask. It's him, the Red Devil. The girl can't believe her eyes. No. The Red Devil is just a fairy tale, a century-old legend. Kim in the red mask looks around. His gaze is stern. What kind of palace is this now? Rich guests in the auction hall panic and look confused at the destruction. Panda and the guard look into a hole in the floor where Kim stands. Panda shouts, Red, you said the children would be here. Panda leans out of the hole in the ceiling. Strange, the patch led here. Below, she notices the bound girl. Ah, Rai, that's my student. Rai, with tears in her eyes, recognizes her. Teacher Panda! The teacher skillfully jumps down to her student, joyfully shouting, Rai! The teacher looks tenderly at Rai, who whispers, Teacher. Panda tries to lighten the mood with a joke, but Rai is desperate. How can you joke? Rai sobs, tightly hugging Panda, who asks, Ha ha, scared! Hugging her student, Panda addresses Kim. Kim, I think your children aren't here. Kim's red eye flashes angrily, and Panda adds apologetically, Sorry! An important gentleman with a monocle sighs. That's why I said not to touch children from Fashion Street. Panda recognizes the boss of Gourmet Company and shouts, Catch him, Kim, and you'll find the children. Hyul-oh smirks with a glass of wine. Catch me? He looks at Kim contemptuously. The residents of Blue Moon fear my gaze, and you dare? Hyul-oh, surrounded by guards, offers, Want to talk? Make an appointment. Guards block Kim's path. One draws a blade. Where are you going, Dirty Red? Bodyguards swiftly launch an attack on the Red Devil. Sword-wielding guards surround Kim, ready to strike. Hyul-oh licks his lips smugly. It's over. Kim replies, Fine, I'll make an appointment. Kim squeezes a guard's head. At your funeral. Guests panic and scatter down the stairs. Screams of horror fill the hall. Hyul-oh is shocked. What happened? Did he destroy my bodyguards in the blink of an eye? Hyul-oh calls out, Twins, to respond, Yes, Chairman, we will stop him. The twins in white suits jump down, attacking Kim. Kim prepares to meet the strike of two thugs flying at him from above. Close-up of Kim's bloodied fists, tense to the limit. Kim catches the twins' fist with bare hands, blood splatters. The Red Devil throws them back with incredible strength. Get lost! The twins fly backward, crashing into Hyul-oh's table. The two strongest guards are defeated and lie among the debris. Hyul-oh is displeased. Hey you, this isn't funny at all. The twins are the strongest in my guard, at least pretend it's hard for you. Hyul-oh, grabbed by the throat, growls, Stop talking nonsense. Kim presses him closely, demanding, Tell me right now, where did you hide my children? Panda points to Rai. Look, there's a child, but Kim clarifies, Not her. 9 children from Slum Street. Hyul-oh smirks even while being grabbed. Ah, those ones? I wondered why they're so cute for the slums. Kim's red eye blazes as Hyul-oh states, They're not here, accept it. Kim demands an explanation. Paradise screams in horror from the side, watch out! Hyol-oh grins maliciously, licking his lips. Cut him down, woodsman. A huge shadow with a cleaver appears behind Kim, ready to strike. The woodsman himself appears, a huge, ugly butcher with a massive cleaver. Hyol-oh explains, I'll tell you, bigger shots than me took them. They need children without status in the blue moon. Hyol-oh cynically explains, they needed rootless children, perfect for their purposes. The villain states he is just a middleman supplying children on order. He orders the woodsman, remove this corpse and take care of the other uninvited guests. Hyol-oh wheezes, his face distorted in shock as Kim squeezes him tighter. Kim's red eye flashes with realization, my children aren't here? Kim, miraculously recovering, growls, then I have no reason to keep you alive. Paradise shouts in amazement, he's resurrecting. Panda is stunned by his regenerative ability. Hyol-oh realizes in horror, how is this possible? His body survived being cut apart. He has abilities. In panic, Hyol-oh desperately calls for help. Woodsman! The woodsman with a huge cleaver shields Hyol-oh, preparing to repel the fully recovered Kim's attack. Hyol-oh grabs his throat in horror, blood oozing from it. Kim, covered in wounds, looks at the woodsman with contempt. Is swinging blades all you know how to do here? The woodsman's eyes flare with rage as he lets out a deafening roar. The red devil responds with an equally furious scream, his eye blazing. Panda and Paradise cover their ears, unable to bear the sonic onslaught. The woodsman, trembling with fear, retreats, dropping his cleaver while Hyol-oh calls him. The boss shouts at his bodyguard, What are you afraid of, monster? Fight, that's an order! Hyol-oh orders the gritting woodsman, turn him into mince. The woodsman charges at Kim with a roar, raising a huge fist to strike. Kim meets the attack. The power of the clash shakes everything around. Kim delivers a crushing blow to the woodsman's face, blood splattering. The thug flies back from the monstrous force of the hit, his body contorting midair. Hyol-oh is horrified, his eye wide, unable to believe what is happening. It can't be. Kim stands over the defeated woodsman, and Hyol-oh realizes this man is a true monster. Hyol-oh, sitting on the floor, looks at Kim and sneers. Finally, a worthy expression on your face. Kim looms over the boss, ready to finish him. Last words? Hyol-oh panics and stammers. Well, wait! Kim's red eye flashes as Hyol-oh threatens. Touch me, and you'll become a criminal and won't find the children. Hyol-oh tries to make a deal. I'll help find the children. Want to know where they are? Kim turns to Panda, asking her opinion about the boss's offer. Panda explains that Hyol-oh is just a front, and she has a way to find the children through the chain of fingers. Panda covers Paradise's eyes, stating, We don't need him. Paradise is surprised. Tea teacher? Kim grabs Hyol-oh's collar with a death grip. Hyol-oh is horrified by the sudden jerk. The Red Devil thanks Panda. So he's useless. Now I can kill him calmly. Hyol-oh lets out a death scream, his monocle falling off as Kim's hands approach. With monstrous force, Kim strikes Hyol-oh's head. A terrible crunch is heard. Hyol-oh's lifeless body hangs from the building's arch as a grim warning. Paradise sadly admits, one Ajasi from the chain of fingers died because of me. Panda flips through records, listening carefully to Paradise's confession. Paradise describes the deceased. A man with waxed hair and a half-mask. Panda asks for clarification. Who? Panda laughs, correcting Paradise. What Ajasi? Herbie is only 2 years older than you, he's 21. Panda assures Paradise. He is alive and well. Paradise in confusion. What? Panda explains. Herbie's mission was to spy. He secretly infiltrated them and was looking for you. Paradise recalls. If the chances of help were slim, I should have given him a beacon so he could find me. Panda proudly states, We members of the Chain of Fingers are trained to keep the Blue Moon in check. He's not so easy to hurt. Panda reassures, he's probably resting now on Fashion Street, so don't be sad. Paradise, sitting on the couch, mutters, Strange. I definitely saw that monster kill him. Paradise jumps up in horror, realizing, now that I think about it, that monster is still here. A creepy creature with a sewn face appears, sniffing. Smell. Strange male scent, but a familiar aroma everywhere. Kim stands motionless in his red mask, his body covered with battle marks. The creature reveals a toothy maw. Bon appetit, Kim smirks. A bean sprout with a human face, and it talks, too. Kim looks at Herbie emerging from the monster's remains and asks how he got there. Herbie, breathing heavily, explains he was searching for the children upstairs when he was attacked. He points to the remains, shouting that the monster suddenly attacked him. Herbie admits regretfully that he resisted but was eventually eaten. Kim contemptuously suggests Herbie just ran away during the chaos and got hurt. Herbie confirms. Suddenly, Panda appears, surprised. "Oh, Tans, Kim, so you both were here!" Panda, next to Paradise, informs Kim that they were in the chairman's office and identified the next target. With a sly smile, Panda announces, "Next stop, Giant Foods." The Giant Foods logo appears, stylized letters GF on a plate. Herbie, horrified and drooling, asks Kim if this is also a huge corporation. Panda reveals that Gourmet Company and Giant Foods are closely connected. Their chairmen are sworn brothers. She explains that Gourmet Company only grew thanks to help from Giant Foods. Panda shows a document. Due to information exchange, there is evidence left, including photos of children. On the document titled Blood Compatibility, it states, Giant Foods took Paradise's sister Ramo and Kim's student. The second photo in the document is Ramo, Paradise's sister, with 95.1% compatibility. Kim's red eye flashes at the mention of his student's name, Hyunjong. Panda suggests heading to Giant Foods, while the search for the other Chain of Fingers children continues. Kim asks for directions, but Panda smiles and admits she doesn't know. A confused guard appears between them, clearly not expecting such guests. The guard panics, begging to be let go, shouting that Giant Foods is a very dangerous place. The guard whispers in horror that Chairman Og is one of the Blue Bloods who suppressed the rebellion. Panda explains to Kim that Blue Bloods are magnates of the Blue Moon, and the guard predicts their death. Kim calmly asks what the problem is, to which the guard screams that it's deadly dangerous for him. Kim's red eye flashes. He grabs the guard, who immediately agrees to show the shortest route. Panda suggests Paradise go home and offers to accompany her. Paradise agrees. Paradise feels the warmth of Panda's hand, reflecting on her age and sensing how this warmth calms her. Paradise feels relief and fatigue, dreaming of leaving this terrible place soon and returning home. Before her mind's eye appears an empty classroom, the school she misses waiting for her. Then Paradise imagines her home, which also eagerly awaits her. Paradise stands in her room, her thoughts turn to someone else she is waiting for. And mine. Paradise turns with a smile, thinking, and mine. Suddenly her face darkens. What was I so happy about? Ramo is still suffering. Paradise looks resolutely at the monster's remains, her gaze full of new purpose. She runs up to Panda, begging, "Please take me with you." Kim, in his red mask, asks, "To Giant Foods? Why would we take a child there?" Paradise insists desperately, "I have to go." But Kim is firm. "No." "My little sister is in the city," Paradise shouts, while Kim suggests entrusting her to Panda. Paradise does not give up. "I will go." But Kim's stern look and firm "no" stop her. Their shouts of "I will go" and "no" echo through the room, creating tension. Panda and the stunned guard silently watch the fierce argument between Paradise and Kim. Paradise puffs out her cheeks determinedly, unwilling to back down. She turns to Panda. "Teacher, I can go with you, right?" Who with a briefcase easily agrees. "Of course!" Kim explodes with rage. "What do you mean, of course?" His red mask cracking with anger. Shards of Kim's mask fly off, hitting the stunned Panda right in the face. Kim looms threateningly over Panda. "Are you out of your mind? Why take her with us?" She spits, "Oh, something got in my mouth." Panda, with a piece of mask in her mouth, remarks, "Kim, this mask tastes like blood. You're a real mad dog." Spitting out the shard, Panda confidently states, "Paradise is almost an adult and very clever, so she will be useful." Kim grits his teeth. "Not to mention her special talent." Panda counters that the Chain of Fingers had already considered taking Paradise. Panda, with an understanding smile, emphasizes, most importantly, she wants to protect her family herself, right? Kim, turning away, reluctantly yields, "Do what you want. Just don't blame me later for not trying harder to stop you." The guard is shocked by Paradise's courage. "What nerves of steel?" Paradise thanks Panda. "Thank you, teacher." Panda sighs. I would have stopped you too, but your special powers... Don't get into fights, but defend yourself. Can you manage? Panda looks seriously. Paradise, eyes blazing, firmly replies, yes. Meanwhile, above the city looms the sinister skyscraper Giant Foods. Within it, a monstrous maw full of chunks of meat foreshadowing a nightmare. A mysterious man in dark glasses and with an icy gaze appears on screen. He announces, time to head to Gourmet Company. And here he is, Chairman Og, a grotesque giant feasting with a meat leg in hand. Chairman Og roars with glowing eyes, my brother Hyol-O must not wait. The team finds themselves in a luxurious clothing store with the sign Lightning. Paradise looks surprised at the stylized lightning sign. Panda explains that it is an elite boutique oddly located on the outskirts. They are greeted by two impeccably dressed store employees saying, welcome. Kim in the red mask wonders, is that all? Just a regular clothing store? Panda smirks, showing the lightning patch. This is not just a store. A mustached employee confirms it is a secret hideout of Fashion Street. When asked about their purpose, Panda replies, preparing for a mission. The employee nods and unzips a huge zipper hidden in the wall. Paradise and the guard look amazed at the unzipped wall. A female store employee gestures, inviting them into the opened secret passage. We are introduced to Handsome, the boss of Fashion Street, who turned a wasteland into a bastion of style. Handsome always knew about Blue Moon's corruption and stayed alert. To protect her district, she created a loyal group called the Chain of Fingers. Paradise is surprised as she thought they were just part-time vigilantes. It turns out even this lightning boutique is part of Handsome's secret network. Meanwhile, tired Paradise is already sleeping on a couch in the hideout. Panda, Kim, and the staff discuss the whereabouts of the kidnapped children while Paradise rests. The mustached employee admits the risk but promises to do everything possible for Panda. Kim in the red mask unexpectedly says, thank you. Panda smirks. Wow, so you can say thanks? I thought you were always angry. Kim explodes, scaring Paradise. Those city punks kidnapped the children, I crushed them. He immediately apologizes. Sorry. Paradise is still sulking. The mustached employee addresses Kim. Your act against the corporation moved us. We consider you an ally. He continues. Our hideout in the city is small, but our people are experienced. Expect results. Panda raises the question. The main problem is how the four of us get to Giant Foods. Kim imagines the scene. If we go on foot, cameras will detect us and the police will attack immediately. Kim asks the employee, looking at the map, can't you help in a fight? He replies, alas, our task is to be shadows. We cannot reveal ourselves. The employee warns, this could start a war with the city. Avoid conflicts with the police. The mustached employee grimly hints that if it were up to him, he would deal with even that policeman, frightening the guard. The guard stammers in fear, feverishly trying to suggest something. Suddenly he has an idea. What if we infiltrate through Giant Food's subsidiary? Panda, sitting on the couch, interestedly asks the guard to explain the details. The guard explains, Bingo Delivery, the frozen goods company, has laid pipes all over the city. He suggests these pipes connecting districts might reduce risk when moving around. The mustached employee exclaims, impressed upon hearing this unexpected idea. Kim in the red mask praises the guard. Great idea, impressive. The guard is surprised by the praise. Paradise looks at him doubtfully, thinking, is he really on our team? Though she has heard of his cleverness. The employee points to the map. The nearest Bingo Delivery point is only 10 minutes from here. The employee points on the map. Since we're on the outskirts, no disguise is needed. Let's go immediately. The mustached man addresses Kim. Mr. Kim, please get dressed. Kim wonders, even underground I can't go shirtless. The employee smiles slyly. Fortunately, I have the perfect outfit for you. Meanwhile, a carriage drawn by 4 rhinoceroses races along a night road. A mysterious man in dark glasses jumps from a height onto a roof. He lands dramatically, ready for action. Before him stretches a red carpet surrounded by people in black. A voice from the shadows reports, we are in position, Mr. Chairman. Chairman Og with glowing eyes roars, even here it smells of blood. I can't wait for YOLO's dishes. Chairman Og strides heavily down the red carpet, surrounded by his men. His assistant Barry in glasses notes, strange, Gourmet Company is silent today. Suddenly Barry freezes, his eyes widen in horror behind his glasses. Before them appears a bloody massacre at the entrance. Barry is shocked. Gourmet Company was. Og, looking at the destruction, sternly asks, "What the hell happened here?" A trembling cook emerges from the shadows. "Mr. Og, Mr. Barry." Barry sternly asks the survivor, "Are you a local worker?" He confirms. "Why is Gourmet Company in such a state?" Barry probes, and the cook begins to tell about the man in the red mask. Barry doesn't believe it. Chairman Yol-O, a street gang? The cook clarifies, he had accomplices, but he alone caused the massacre. The cook, trembling, whispers, "That guy is a monster. Even the woodsman couldn't stop him. I kept hiding all the time." Barry asks the survivor where the attackers went. He answers, "To the city center." The cook adds, "Strangely, among them was a policeman, a woman with glasses, and a girl." Barry thoughtfully says, "A policeman, real or disguise. That's a tough problem." Placing a hand on the cook's shoulder, Barry thanks him. "Understood. Your information was very helpful." Suddenly, his grip on the cook's neck tightens. "Good thing this is the outskirts and the news hasn't spread." The choking cook whispers in horror, "Mr. Barry." Barry, continuing to strangle, coldly asks, "Why was the gourmet headquarters built in such a place?" Chairman Og grins maliciously, drool dripping. "Not that we're doing good deeds here." Barry's glasses reflect cruelty. "That's why I'll do even worse." Barry coldly holds the lifeless body of the cook, having dealt with the witness. Barry mercilessly disposes of the last witness, his clothes splattered. He coldly notes that searching for other survivors will take quite some time. Chairman Og sternly calls out to Barry, who immediately responds. Og, furious, his eyes glowing, "How dare they kill my friend in this blue city? Find that bastard!" He snarls, promising, "Then bring his corpse to me. I will eat him." Barry bows. "I will hire an experienced killer and get rid of him." Meanwhile, elsewhere, behind a fitting room curtain, a question is heard. "So, how's the clothing?" Panda, leaning against the wall, boasts, "You're lucky. This is Handsome's collection with sweat absorption and self-repair functions." Kim in the red mask feels the new black fabric. Feels nice to wear. Panda adds, "Just like you, right?" Panda continues, "It's not just good. Handsome's collection is rare. You can't buy it with money. And I even improved the back for you." Panda explains that Kim's suit is needed for the success of their joint mission. On Kim's back shines the inscription, "Redline Kim." He is ready for action. Kim decisively steps forward, saying, "Let's go." The team led by Kim heads out to search for the children. They arrive at the bingo delivery building under the cover of twilight. Inside, they are greeted by two, a stern chief and his assistant in winter gear. The chief and his assistant stand on a platform before a formation of uniformly dressed workers. The chief loudly greets his subordinates. "Good morning, my soldiers." Workers in uniforms and safety glasses respond in unison. "Good morning, Chief." The chief announces, "Before we start work, Giant Foods has sent us a message." The chief announces, "Due to the incident at Gourmet Company, our department is temporarily closed." He urges, "And today we work with full dedication so the freezer doesn't melt." The chief loudly asks, "Who are we?" The workers answer in unison, "Bingo Delivery." The chief shouts, "Too quiet! You can't ask for help with that voice! Louder!" Under his fierce roar of "louder," the workers chant the company name again. The chief commands, "Excellent! Now open the gates!" The massive gates rise with a crash, releasing clouds of icy steam. Beyond the gates, a view opens onto a huge ice storage with sharp ice peaks. The chief gives the order, "Icebreakers, forward!" And 3 fighters with hammers rush into the frost. The chief commands, "Distribution team, forward," and workers with hooks rush into the icy maze. One worker passes instructions to another. Products number 1532773 and 1534121 through pipe A17. The worker skillfully hooks onto an ice block, preparing to move it. He swings, directing the huge ice block along the assigned route. The chief encourages, "You're all in great shape today," while people hurry to pipes A12 and A13. The assistant worries, "Chief, aren't you cold? Your clothes are getting thinner." The chief replies, "This cold is nothing compared to my passion." Suddenly, the chief notices movement at the main gates. The metal shutter begins to rise, and someone's boots appear in the opening. Kim in a red mask appears from under the shutter. Good morning, guys. Flashback 30 minutes earlier, Kim inspects unattended uniforms. How can you be so careless with clothes? Kim in the mask asks, what if someone steals them? Panda replies, there are no thieves in this city. Kim is surprised, but Panda explains, robberies happen, but clothes aren't stolen. Usually it's competitors. A police officer from Kim's team recalls, when we arrived at bingo delivery, something came to mind, the elder's words. He continues, there is a blacklist shared among major corporations. Panda adds that everyone on that list disappeared, and police investigations showed they all froze to death as shown by the chilling image of an iced-over hand. The police officer grimly concludes, the elder always suspected bingo delivery, they carry out contract killings. A girl from the team anxiously asks, so they are very strong? The police officer confirms, their boss is a former fighter nicknamed Mad Dog who beats opponents in the ring. Close-up of Mad Dog, covered in blood. He killed so many that he was banned forever. Panda announces, moving on to the plan, Kim, you attack them head on! Kim in the red mask is ready for battle. The chief of bingo delivery blocks the way. Staff only, who are you? Kim confidently steps forward. Details don't matter, I'm not staff, try to stop me. He clenches his fist. Because I am a trespasser. Kim strikes the chief with full force, shouting, then try to stop me! The blow is so strong that the chief breaks through the wall. The assistant screams in horror, Chief! Looking at the hole in the wall. The assistant calls for backup. Icebreakers! 3 with hammers appear. One of the icebreakers sighs and swings his huge hammer. Kim easily parries the blow, smashing the icebreaker's hammer to pieces. The icebreaker stares in shock at the remains of his weapon, unable to believe his eyes. Kim's powerful strike shatters the ice hammer into fragments. The other 2 icebreakers freeze, stunned by such strength. The assistant whispers, did he break the ice hammer with his bare hands? Does he have superpowers? The assistant tries to encourage his team. What are you afraid of? Who are we? Workers with hooks and hammers shout, bingo delivery, and charge into attack. Kim tears off his jacket, exposing his torso, and shouts defiantly, like this, all on me! With one move, Kim scatters the attacking crowd, sending them flying. 2 workers watch the sudden chaos in horror. Panda outlines the plan. While Kim distracts them, we'll sneak inside. Kim's team in disguise searches for Pipe B-44, following instructions. The female leader commands, now just step onto the ice and move. One of them starts to worry. What if we slip on this? Ice! And immediately one team member clumsily falls. The whole group freezes, surprised by their comrade's sudden fall. The fallen one grumbles, be careful, it's too slippery here. A bingo delivery worker notices them. More intruders here. Their shoes give them away. They're not in work boots, we're caught. The girl rips off her glasses and shouts desperately, Kim! Kim sighs. I'm working hard here and you managed to get caught. He breaks through the crowd. Out of the way! Kim tosses his team into the air, their shouts echoing through the warehouse. A girl from the team lands on one of the workers, using him as a cushion. Kim points at an ice block. To Pipe B-44, you're first! With a powerful kick, Kim sends the block with the team forward. The icy transport with the team aboard rushes toward the pipe. The faces of the team members are distorted by fear and the speed of sliding. With a loud shout, the team flies into the dark opening of Pipe B-44. Bingo delivery workers report, intruders in Pipe B-44, we're after them. Kim blocks the way to Pipe B-44. Where do you think you're going, ignoring me? Suddenly the chief appears. How about finishing the fight we started? Kim's red eye flashes with surprise. What? Kim delivers a crushing blow to the chief's jaw. The chief falls to the ground from Kim's powerful hook. Kim is puzzled. You're still alive after my hit? The chief, covered in blood, rises with a mad grin. Of course! It's a sin to lie down when there's such a savage here. The chief counterattacks, shouting, Don't get underfoot! Baron snarls mockingly, What's wrong? You told me to stop you! Mad Dog charges forward, Then try to stop me. Police tape is stretched. So, a new investigation begins. The detective asks the officer, 3 of your colleagues disappeared during the shift. The officer shares details. 1 was withdrawn, but the other 2 wouldn't disappear without reason. The detective frowns, sensing difficulties. Even if we try to investigate, he states, all traces vanished as if someone thoroughly cleaned the crime scene. The detective ponders the intrusion. The server is clean, but what if they had superpowers? The only clue is the damaged main city gates. The gates are made of special alloy. They couldn't be quickly repaired, leaving a clear breach. However, the road was covered with fresh asphalt, possibly hiding evidence inside the city. The senior officer gives the order, all right, everyone evacuate the site. The detective asks in surprise, evacuate? The senior officer explains, the incident was minor. The 3 were found and fired for desertion. The detective clarifies, is leaving post not an emergency? The officer waves it off, maybe unusual, but not important. Aston persists, are you sure? The officer irritably replies, do you think I'm lying? The officer arrogantly says, don't believe me, ask the bosses. Detective Aston, don't interfere. The police leave. The senior grumbles. Who even gave them the right to meddle in the investigation? Detective Aston remains alone, his gaze fixed on the deserted road and industrial zone. Suddenly, an ice block with Kim's team flies out of pipe B44 at tremendous speed. Chasers from Bingo Delivery on skates with hooks jump out of the pipe after them. Kim's team turns in horror, seeing their rapidly approaching enemies. Detective Aston delivers a flying kick to one of the pursuers. Bingo workers on skates push off with hooks, creating cracks in the ice. A girl angrily hits the ice with a folder. This is a crisis. If you hadn't fallen, we would have escaped. A guy defends himself. I feel terrible for letting Kim down. The girl shouts, lies! You fell on purpose. Aston, standing with them on the block, coldly remarks, you disappoint me, turning a model officer into an accomplice. The team stares at Aston in shock as he asks, do you have time for idle chatter? Aston lands lightly in front of them, his intentions unclear. Suddenly, Aston slices their ice block in half with the blade of his skate. The team panics. He cut the ice with skate blades? The pursuers fall into the crack. A guy from the team shouts at Aston in despair, you crazy bastard. He yells at Aston, if you're cutting, cut it in half. What kind of piece is this? The girl calls him, Tans. He replies surprised, huh? She screams again in horror, Tans! Their ice flows separate. The team is split and the pursuers fall into the icy abyss. The girl with the folder panics and her partner admits, I misjudged. She continues, I thought the one who fought Kim was the boss, but their boss is here. A new opponent in white appears. I'm from another company, but my rank is higher. His name is Shamin, director of the ice chamber. Shaman asks threateningly, how dare you mess with Bingo Delivery, partners of the ice chamber? What madman hired you? Aston attacks Shaman with a kick. I'm not a mercenary, I'm a teacher. Shamin easily blocks Aston's strike. What a boring joke. Aston continues his attack, delivering a powerful kick to Shaman. The opponent's legs clash in midair. Shaman parries Aston's strike. Shaman admits, I thought you were small time since you ran away, but this woman, she looks like her. A girl from Kim's team looks up in confusion, noticing something strange. A hail of huge ice shards falls down on them. Shaman's subordinates shout, Director, watch out! Barely dodging the falling ice. Aston dodges Shaman's attack, performing a salchow and suggests he calm down. Shaman doesn't stop and delivers a crushing kick to Aston's head. Aston falls to his knees. Shaman asks condescendingly, will you be all right? Aston, breathing heavily, admits, I lost the one-on-one fight. Unyielding, Aston launches a lightning-fast kick attack in midair. Shaman, enraged, this little guy! His eye gleams with icy determination. Meanwhile, Tans, separated, calmly sits on an ice floe. No one is chasing me. He thinks, that girl. Did I fall on purpose? Who does she think I am? Tans smirks, acknowledging her cleverness. Smart. He continues down the pipe. I'll get out, call for backup, and turn everything upside down. Suddenly, a new formidable opponent in a red mask appears, clenching his fists. Someone with Child of the Red Light written on their back swings a slab, and Red Mask shouts, You're the best! Child of the Red Light rapidly falls down, crashing into a building wall. Red Mask, breathing heavily, lies on the ground among debris. A new opponent in blue uniform with bloodied hands disdainfully comments on the city fighting techniques. Red Mask replies angrily, I'm not interested in your philosophy! Red Mask with Child of the Red Light written on his back launches an attack. He delivers a crushing blow to the opponent in blue. The bloodied opponent grins wildly. I like that about you too. We could be great friends. A powerful counterstrike throws Red Mask back, and he crashes into the ground. Rising from the rubble, Red Mask mutters, "No, I misspoke." Suddenly, Red Mask grabs the opponent by the boot. The giant opponent in blue looms over him, growling, "You don't interest me!" But Mask already dodges the strike. Red Mask evades, and his huge opponent falls with a crash. Red Mask, his eyes glowing scarlet, prepares for a new attack. He delivers a crushing kick to the fallen opponent. The force of the blow cracks the ground beneath them. Red Mask declares, "I care about nothing but our children." Meanwhile, Tans confidently strides toward the huge tunnel marked B44. Red Mask looks at the opponent in surprise. "Oh, so you're married. Unexpected." The bloodied giant cracks his neck. "Now that we're warmed up, let's fight." Red Mask is puzzled. "Anyone else would have died long ago. Do you have superpowers?" The giant's clothes tear, revealing wounds. He shouts, "That's right!" The opponent transforms, his muscles bulging. "I have super muscle transformation power, damage boost." Red Mask disdainfully throws at the giant. "You're a cockroach." The giant parries. "Oh, a compliment? Cockroaches are cool. I have 30 at home." The bloodied giant with glowing eyes launches a furious attack. Red Mask meets him with a powerful strike, pushing the opponent back. Their gazes clash, the giant's rage against Mask's icy calm. A volley of crushing blows begins. The air around them crackles. The giant, taking hits, shouts excitedly, "This is fun! Very fun!" Red Mask endures the hail of blows steadfastly, his resolve unbroken. The force of their clash throws both backward, creating a shockwave. The giant, breathing heavily, smirks. "Heh, isn't it time you admitted it?" The giant, bleeding, smirks. "You can't defeat me." He reveals his secret. "My superpower is monstrous strength that converts damage into muscle." Themis weighs their powers. In a battle of abilities, it's about whose prevails. The giant is confident. "You're definitely weaker." But Mask parries, "That only makes me stronger." Red Mask asks unwaveringly, "So what will you do now?" The giant delivers a crushing punch to Mask's face. Mask's head snaps back from the monstrous force of the blow. Red Mask is slammed into the wall, a fist print left on his chest. Mask immediately counterattacks, striking the giant back. The giant is puzzled. "What's wrong with you? You just take hits. Lost your will to fight." Red Mask admits, "I'm definitely at a disadvantage." The giant thinks, "You can't mindlessly hit someone who only gets stronger." "In that case," the giant charges forward, closing the distance. Mask takes the hit. The power of the collision shakes everything around. The giant exclaims in surprise, "Huh?" not expecting such a reaction. Red Mask knocks the giant down and moves to hold him. Instead of strikes, decided to pin me down? The pinned giant realizes, "You use grappling to counter my skills." The giant's face twists with rage as he lets out a beastly roar. Mask holds him down and the giant guesses, "You didn't train professionally in martial arts?" The giant, caught in the hold, admits, "Your plan wasn't bad." The giant growls, "But your skills are worthless," breaking free from the hold. Red Mask delivers a crushing blow to the opponent's side. The giant's face contorts in pain as he screams from the unexpected attack. The stunned giant doesn't understand what happened, blood spraying everywhere. Red Mask, crouching, prepares the next strike, his aura blazing. "Got you," says Mask, his fist glowing red. The defeated giant sneers maliciously, "You called me a cockroach, but you're even worse." Red Mask forcefully slams the giant into the cracked floor. Mask unleashes a barrage of blows on the pinned opponent. The giant throws Mask off, shouting, "You think this will change anything?" The giant, bleeding, shouts, "No matter how desperately you counterattack, in the end, I'll win." Red Mask is thrown back by a powerful blow, breaking through the ceiling. The giant with glowing eyes laughs, "Ha ha ha! Finally, things are getting interesting." Mask stands in the doorway, calmly replying to the giant's fury, "No." Red Mask stands before a huge door labeled "Instant Freeze," declaring, "You need to cool down." The giant looks at the label in confusion. "Instant freeze?" In rage, the giant realizes, You lured me here on purpose." Mask presses the max button with his bloodied hand, asking, I heard you killed people like this? The freezer door slams shut, cutting off the giant. Red Mask looks at him through the grate. How about trying your own medicine? The giant furiously lunges at the closing door, shouting, You bastard! His fingers get stuck in the gap. Mask watches calmly from the other side. The giant tries to pry the doors open, roaring, Don't you dare run from our fight! The giant's face is twisted with strain and pain. Blood drips from his hands. Red Mask calmly retorts, Who said I'm running away? Mask pushes the giant into the freezer. You lost the fight, idiot! The giant screams no in despair, falling into the ice chamber. Red Mask calmly watches as the freezer door finally slams shut. Mask stands motionless, his bloodied body radiating strength. Suddenly turning, Red Mask punches through a wall. Looking at his bloodied hand, Mask says, Disgusting, even at the end. He clenches his fist. Not all superpowered people have to be like you, right? Suddenly the scene changes. On an ice arena, a panda girl attacks an opponent in white. Panda delivers a powerful spinning kick, catching the enemy off guard. Her face is focused, eyes burning with determination. A scrape is visible on her cheek. The girl lands using jet boosters on her boots, ready for another attack. A blonde with a briefcase watches her worriedly. Teacher Panda? In the girl's thoughts, usually so lazy, but turns out she's a great fighter. Panda's opponent stands firm. It seems she is at a disadvantage. Panda attacks again, delivering a kick, but the enemy is ready to meet her. Panda strikes with a kick aimed at the opponent. The enemy in white is surprised. His glasses slip sideways from the force of the blow. The opponent is thrown back, crashing into the ice wall of the arena. Suddenly, the enemy dashes off, leaving an icy trail behind. He ends up behind Panda, assessing her efforts. A plus for effort. The opponent attacks from below, destroying the platform beneath the girl's feet. Panda manages to jump off while the blonde falls. Panda says, What a pity. The falling blonde screams in horror, Teacher! Rai desperately reaches out, trying to grab something as she falls. Suddenly, the opponent in white catches Rai, saving her. The opponent in white asks Rai kindly, Are you okay? She nods confusedly. He mentally fumes. What the hell did she bring a minor into such a dangerous situation for? Panda remains silent guiltily, knowing the opponent is right, reproaching her irresponsibility. The stranger tells Panda, Do you realize the difference in our powers? Surrender to the police and I'll spare your life. Panda smirks. You've definitely become stronger than before. The enemy is shocked because Panda called him by name, Shamin, which he never told her. Still can't remember? Asks Panda, and a ghostly silhouette appears behind her. Shaman waves it off. Stop joking, you look like her, but you're not her. You think such a perfect person could be as clumsy as you? Shaman sneers, provoking Panda. Panda turns to Rai defiantly and says, Oh yeah? Clearly preparing to act. Panda leaps into the air with a kick. You think only you held back? Shaman stubbornly insists, someone like her would never be so careless. Panda glides on the ice and Shaman points at her. You're not her. Panda activates the ability Matter Hardening. And after that, you'll still say that? Shaman is stunned as energy crackles around him. Suddenly, the ice beneath Shaman turns to water and he falls through. Shamin is waist-deep in a jelly-like mass. Ice turning to jelly. Is that your power? The goo around Shaman's hand instantly hardens. He shouts, Hardened again! This really is matter hardening. Panda explains, a superpower to freely change the state of matter, matter hardening. Panda crouches, holding Shaman's glasses. Now do you believe me? Shaman, stuck in ice, admits, I suppose people really do change. Panda smiles. And you've changed a lot. She playfully kicks him, now trying to speak softer. Panda continues, stepping on him. What did you say, fool? Is that how you talk to a colleague after a long absence? Rai, shocked, intervenes. Teacher, wait, what colleagues? Panda turns to Rai with a sly smile. Oh yes, did I forget to mention? Panda announces, I'm from the Blue Moon City. Rai is stunned. Shaman, still on the floor, exclaims incredulously, What? Suddenly, another character spots the exit. Outside, sitting on an ice block. He happily stands up. Why was the path so confusing, like a maze? Barely got out. Tance smirks, rubbing his hands. Great, as soon as I get out, I'll report on them. Suddenly 3 appear. A girl with glasses waves at him. "You're late, why so long?" Tance is stunned by their arrival at warehouse B44. A masked person says, "We were worried, but you're alive." The masked person approaches Tance closely. "So what good things were you saying?" He turns to Chamin and Panda. "Glad you're all safe and sound." Sudden flashback. A little girl with braids joyfully shouts, "Teacher!" The girl's name is Hyunjong. She runs carefree through a field, smiling like a sunflower. The teacher with glasses smiles and warns her, "Be careful, you'll fall if you run like that." The prediction comes true. Hyunjong trips and tumbles onto the grass. Lying on the ground with a broken nose, Hyunjong cheerfully says, "I fell," causing concern. Medicines lie on the table. Bandages, scissors, and a bottle of medicine. The teacher treats Hyunjong's knee wound. She laughs, saying it stings. The teacher strokes Hyunjong's head, asking her to be more careful. She happily agrees. The teacher thinks about a secret known only to him and the director to protect Hyunjong. He says the name Kim, touching the head of the smiling Hyunjong. Suddenly a man in a red mask and hood appears, repeating, "Kim!" A girl with round glasses approaches Kim from behind, asking if he's asleep. She informs Kim that Chamin has awakened and asks him to follow her. The girl asks Kim to pretend they weren't here, but he firmly refuses. Chamin, director of the ice chamber, accuses her of planning to attack the Blue Blood Nation. Bound Chamin listens to Panda, who says, "Then you can just die here." The masked man clarifies to Chamin, "We're not asking for help, we're giving you a chance." Chamin frowns while the mask continues. "Depending on your answer, it will affect you. And everyone outside this waiting room, it won't be easy." And behind the door, his people are ready for battle. The mask looms over Chamin. "Know that you're all alive only because Panda wants it that way." Chamin is puzzled, looking at Panda, who explains, "That's the past, but we were still colleagues." The masked man looks intently at Panda. "You want to keep him alive?" Rai watches as the mask asks Panda, "Are you protecting him because you're from the same city?" Panda in a winter jacket waves it off. "No way, I left that lousy city long ago and got into fashion." The bingo delivery sign hints, better to maintain the appearance that delivery is fine. Panda is confident. "I know Chamin well, he's skilled but soft-hearted." Bound Chamin reluctantly agrees. "All right." Panda believes he will join their side. The masked man sets a condition for Chamin. In return, guarantee that the workers won't be harmed. The girl with Rai notes, "Everything is going exactly according to Panda's plan if we stay silent." After that, everything went smoothly. They escaped the city through the pipe and Chamin's delivery workers ignored them. Rai walks by, noting that they really aren't noticed. Rai is surprised by the few complaints, and a guard explains, "People in the city easily obey orders." The masked man skeptically asks Panda, "Do you think Chamin is telling the truth?" Panda with a briefcase confidently replies, "I think so. He has no reason to lie to us." Chamin decisively states, "I understand you. Chasing a child is a disgrace for Blue Moon City." Chamin, holding a jar, says, "I can't help personally, but I'll give some information." He shocks Panda and Mask, "Giant food, your target is a fake." Chamin reveals, the well-known headquarters is just a facade. The real base of Chairman Og is hidden. He admits he has been to the fake office, but doesn't know the exact location of the real headquarters. Mask suggests, "The guy I fought should know where the real headquarters is, right?" Panda proposes, "Let's thaw him and ask." Mask sarcastically, "Are you joking? You said how tough he is to the point of nausea." Suddenly Tance appears, thoughtfully rubbing his chin. Mask, looking at Tance, says, "If this place is unknown to outsiders, let's ask someone from our own." Tance, flipping through a notebook, asks, "And where is this own? The industry circle is small. It won't be hard to find." In Tance's notebook is written, "Cass Plus and how to get rid of an evil boss." He explains, "This is my boss's method. Grab the nearest enemy and beat all the nonsense out of him." Before us is the Cass Plus building, the management service Tance mentioned. Blood drips onto the floor as a voice off-screen asks, "How dare you disturb me?" Beaten Horan, young chairman of our construction, hisses angrily, "Do you think you're safe?" Huran threatens, "Don't you know my security and police are already looking for me?" His people are in the background. Two from Cast Plus smirk. One remarks, "Why do all the people we bring here say the same thing?" A man in a suit mockingly asks Haran, sitting on the floor, "Do you know why we're still doing this?" He grins maliciously, answering, "Because we always get away with it." Grabbing Huron by the hair, he continues, "The police don't care if a successful mid-level company suddenly disappears." His bald partner adds, "You shouldn't have worked so hard. Now you're top evil and you're on their blacklist." Suddenly the bald man turns around, asking in surprise, "Hey, who are you?" The bald man from Cast Plus turns around, asking in surprise, "Who's there?" Mask appears in the corridor and a thug notes, "Wow, he's tougher than you guys." Beaten Haran is puzzled. "Who is that? None of my bodyguards look like him." Mask calmly replies, "No, I don't know him, just passing by and wanted to ask something." The man in the suit smirks. "You'll ask when you're lying next to him. Since you saw this, we won't let you go." The bald man with a knife receives an order. "Bring this guy here too," and obediently agrees. His partner, still holding Huron, smirks. "Huron and I will continue our conversation." Suddenly he shouts, "Hey! I said bring him, not throw him out the window!" Mask stands by the broken window. "Oops. Panda asked for quiet, but I threw him out the window." The remaining thug is stunned. "We're on the outskirts. No one should be outside." The remaining thug shouts in rage, "Bastards! What are you doing? Grab him quickly!" A crowd of armed thugs rushes at Mask, who calmly says, "Well then." One of the attackers with a knife charges forward determinedly. Mask meets the first enemy with a crushing blow right to the face. Then Mask casually throws the thug's body against the building wall, saying, "I think I'll just toss them into the building." The blow is so strong the wall shatters into pieces. The other attackers recoil in horror. Their boss panics, shouting, "The wall! Does he have superpowers? He's right in front of you!" Mask's eye glows ominously red, fist clenched. He's ready to continue. Mask bursts into the crowd, scattering opponents one by one. Leaving defeated enemies behind, Mask remarks, "What is this? You guys are even weaker than bingo delivery." The Cast Plus boss whispers in horror, "It can't be." Huron is also stunned. Beaten Huron thinks hopefully, "Is he here to save me?" Mask slowly approaches, and the Cast Plus leader screams in fear. He pleads, "Sir, did you want to ask something?" Mask confirms, "Yes, but first." Mask delivers a crushing blow to the leader's face without warning. Mask looks at the fallen. "I hit lightly. Get up." Tance wonders whether to beat them first and question later. Tance, taking notes, asks Mask, "What if they don't know anything?" Tance anxiously awaits Mask's answer, saying, "Then..." Mask ominously rubs his fists, declaring, "If they don't want to die, they'll do everything to satisfy you. Discipline first." Three black sedans screech to a halt sharply at the Cast Plus building. People in suits pour out of the cars. Their leader with a katana shouts, "Faster, we must save Hyunim." His assistant worries, "Vice Chairman, what if we're too late?" He sharply cuts him off. "Don't talk nonsense!" Vice Chairman Hoke from R Construction is confident. "My Hunim isn't one to give up easily." Armed with katanas, Hoke's fighters rush swiftly down the corridor. Hoke bursts into the room with sword ready, shouting, "Hyunim, I'm here!" Beaten Huron, recognizing the voice, says, "Hoke, my younger brother!" Hoke runs to his brother, anxiously inspecting his wounds. "Hyunim, are you okay? Look what they did to you." Hoke clenches his fists in rage. "Those bastards dared touch my Hyunim's face. I won't let them get away with it." Before them stands the beaten beyond recognition Cast Plus leader, greeting them, "Oh, welcome." Huron looks surprised at the thug's swollen face, and Hoke calmly suggests, "Say hello." Huron introduces Mask as Mr. Kim, who saved his life, while Mask sits on the defeated enemy. Hoke's people bow low to Mask, thanking him for saving Hyunim and promising to repay the favor. Mask, with Redline Kim written on his back, orders them to be quiet as he is busy, leaving them puzzled. The beaten Cast Plus leader hurries someone on the phone with the investigation, disregarding costs. Mask looms over the leader, asking about the results. He stammers fearfully, Not yet." Mask grabs the leader by the hair, displeased with the answer, and he apologizes in terror. Hoke sternly orders the Cast Plus leader to hurry if he wants to live. Hoke asks his assistant what Mask is doing now, and he replies that he is searching for Giant Food's secret headquarters. Hoke is surprised. Secret headquarters? So the one we know is fake? The assistant confirms it's common. Hoke politely addresses Mask, apologizing for the disturbance and asking if he is looking for Giant Food's headquarters. Mask replies, yes. Hoke suggests these bandits probably don't know about the secret headquarters. Mask wonders if Hoke's method will be more effective, and he begins to explain. Hoke believes the real Giant Food headquarters is a large building since their bosses don't skimp. Mask would appreciate such help, and Hoke bows, saying it's just repaying a debt. Hoke thinks this way he'll get rid of his debt to this suspicious man since his hunim is too soft. Bandaged Huron enthusiastically praises his brother, suggesting not only finding buildings but also checking their owners. Hoke panics, shaking his brother, shouting that he's on the blacklist and shouldn't risk helping others. Mask calmly asks Huron to pull himself together, offering to handle the people himself and telling him to take care of himself. Huron is touched by Mask's generosity, while Hoke wearily covers his face with his hand. Huron enthusiastically bids farewell to the savior, promising help any time while Hoke leads his people away. The masked figure in the hood declares, "There is something you must do for me." The Mega Hammer group asks in confusion, "What? Check the buildings?" The arms dealers undercover as restaurant staff ask, "Us? Why?" The corpse cleanup service SAC boldly demands, "And who are you anyway?" The killers from Bullrang threaten, "Hey, you got a death wish or something?" All these specialists, quite battered, shout in unison, "We'll do it." Tance happily writes down, "So easy, we'll find the Giant Food headquarters in no time." Tance admires the mask. "Did you meet the brothers from our construction? Their method will definitely work." The mask, looking into the distance, resolutely tells Tance, "We'd better hurry, too much time has passed." The mask's eye glows ominously as he thinks, "Yeonjong, even if you're scared, wait a little longer. I'll save you soon." A little girl with pigtails laughs loudly. "Ha ha ha!" A fair-haired man with cards scratches his head. "Oh, did I lose again?" The girl joyfully shouts, "Ramo Uni won again!" The man can't believe his eyes. Ramo, a girl with short blonde hair, calmly replies, "I'm playing for the first time." The man smirks at Ramo. "If you're lying, you won't grow up to be a good person," she insists. "It's true." He shuffles the cards, suggesting, "All right, let's play one last round." The girl with pigtails suddenly asks the man, "Mister, when are we going home?" The man looks away. "I'm not sure. I'm just watching over you kids. I don't know those details." Ramo thoughtfully notes to herself, "The call. That's the 56th time already." The girl adds sadly, "I like spending time with Uncle and Uni, but I want to see my family." The girl complains that it's just stuffy in such a room. The man asks the little one if she has a family, and she lists her teachers and friends. He objects that teachers are just a job, but the girl insists, "They're family." The man scares them. "It's dangerous outside. At night, a monster in a red mask roams around killing people." The girl with pigtails exclaims in fear, "Wow, that's scary." The man tells her to stay in the room. Ramo suddenly remembers, "I heard there's also a woman in sunglasses out there." Ramo anxiously thinks, "The streets, sunglasses? Could he be talking about Teacher Panda?" The man calmly states, "But that woman is dead now." Ramo is shocked. Ramo, noting the 57th call, hopefully asks, "That's a lie, right?" The man laughs, "Yeah, just kidding." The man shuffling the cards remarks, "But you looked pretty surprised." The man smirks and asks Ramo, "Do you know her?" Ramo stammers, trying to answer, and he reassuringly puts his hand on her shoulder. He leans toward her, offering to tell her something funny, and whispers in her ear, "Honestly, I'm from the streets too." Winking, he assures her, "Surprised? I don't betray my own, trust me." Ramo looks up in relief and thanks him. A man in a suit appears in the doorway, and the blonde realizes it's time to go. The girl waves goodbye to him, while Ramo sits thoughtfully at the table. The man in the suit asks the blonde if he's gotten too close to the children. The blonde brushes it off, saying he's just bored, but is warned, "These kids are ingredients, don't get attached." The blonde demands $100 for information, surprising the man in glasses. The man in glasses reluctantly hands over a wad of cash, otherwise the blonde won't say anything. Taking the money, the blonde reports, Those who attacked Gourmet Company are looking for these kids. The man in the red mask didn't recognize the kids. Maybe he's a mercenary or that very serial killer. The man in glasses hides the money, saying the blonde should be ready and will handle everything. The blonde is ordered to catch those guys and deliver them, with a promise of even greater reward. When asked about the target's location, the blonde replies, "I don't know," irritating the client. The man in glasses reminds him that he paid for this information, but the blonde brushes it off, saying he'll figure it out himself. The blonde is called the best killer, but he answers that he only accepts compliments and money. The blonde puts on a hat, saying, "All right then." The blonde in the hat, his eyes glowing ominously purple. "Maybe we should go hunting." A skyscraper with the sign Babel Tower on the roof rises over the city. The mask furiously kicks the door down, shouting, "You were wrong!" Covered in blood, he accuses Tans, "This isn't the giant food headquarters, but a den of petty criminals." Tans tries to calm him. "We just fell for fake leads from giant food." Two from the mask's group discuss, "Do you think they know we're looking for them?" "No, otherwise the police would have intervened already." The mask laments not asking Zipper to find out about Hyunjong, but Tansy replies, "Kim, Zipper has limited sources. Searching for children is beyond him." Using matter hardening, the mask repairs his clothes, ordering, "Let's get out of here before we're caught." Two from the mask's team hurriedly leave the alley, unaware of surveillance from above. And on the roof, shuffling cards, the very blonde killer waits for them, ready to hunt. Meanwhile, in a luxurious room, Chairman Og greedily devours a feast. He drains a golden goblet, his eyes glowing ominously blue. Barry, a man in glasses, appears and greets Chairman Og. Barry asks about Og's health. He replies that his body is stabilizing. Barry suggests performing the blood ritual this week. He asks if Og has chosen a child for the ritual. On the screen are Ramo and a girl. Barry insists, only one must be chosen, two would be too much of a burden. Moreover, Chairman Hyle's killers are searching for Ramo. She could become a hostage. Chairman Og thoughtfully wipes his mouth. Photos of children lie before him. His finger points to one photo. "In that case, I choose this child." A policeman with a notebook reports, "According to the investigation, there are two possible locations left for the headquarters." He lists every pad company, a display manufacturer, and Mineral Mountain, a major water supplier. One of them is a cover. The mask frowns. Mineral Mountain is suspicious. Why would they need such a huge building just to sell water? The policeman explains, "During the war, rebels poisoned the water and Mineral Mountain got rich from it." "I don't know why the R builders included them on the list," he continues, "but before you leave, you need to know something." He reveals an important detail. Mineral Mountain and every pad offices are connected. Tance exclaims anxiously, "What? So we have only one chance. If we raise a ruckus in one building, they'll notice in the other too." The mask decisively states, "No need to hesitate. Both buildings are giant food headquarters." The blonde killer smirks. Chairman Og loves rhinos, so the buildings are designed to resemble them. The mask looks at the roof under the full moon where the blonde stands and shouts, "Who are you?" He replies, "But it doesn't look like a rhino at all, does it?" The blonde smirks, "My name is Razul, but many call me Purple." The mask and policeman are shocked. The latter mutters, "Purple necklace?" Tance whispers in horror, "Purple!" Tance shouts to Kim that they need to run, but the mask addresses the killer. "If you say so, you must know about the headquarters, right?" Purple jumps down from the roof right to them. Landing, he adjusts his hat. "I know." Purple's eyes glow ominously. "After all, I am a killer sent by Chairman Og to eliminate you." Purple shows a card, the ace of spades. The mask is surprised. A card? The mask lunges into attack, delivering a powerful blow to Purple. The mask's fist seems to reach its target, his gaze full of determination. The mask's strike passes through Purple, who smirks. Well, there's one. Tance, eyes blazing, charges at the killer. Purple remains calm. A powerful kick from Tance from above. Purple easily blocks it with his hand. The killer is surprised. "I don't feel your movements. Are you a killer too?" Purple parries the attack with a card. "But you're still slower than my hands." The card thrown by Purple leaves a deep energy trail on the ground. The policeman is shocked by Purple's power, unable to believe his eyes. The secret of the Purples is revealed. People from the streets granted citizenship in exchange for wearing purple collars. Among the purples are elite mercenaries, and Rozul seems to be one of them. Purple notices a hiding policeman. "Hey you behind the wall, cosplayer!" The policeman panics. Purple throws cards toward the policeman, ordering, "Come out here!" The policeman watches in horror as the cards fly straight at him. Purple snaps his fingers as if commanding the cards. Purple energy crashes onto the policeman, who screams in surprise. Purple asks him to hold on a bit, since killing a real officer is troublesome. The policeman, crushed by cards, trembles and mutters, "Yes, yes, sir." Tance clenches her fist and says with annoyance, "That idiot!" Purple leisurely approaches Tance, who screams in fright. Tance panics. Her hand begins to glow yellow as she decides to use her superpower. Purple chuckles in surprise, noting, "You look a lot like Ramo. Are you sisters?" Tance, trembling, asks, "You know Ramo?" Purple smirks. "I know her very well." He playfully places a rose in Tance's hair. "Ramo and I are best friends." Tance is puzzled by the rose, and Purple continues, "Are you her older sister? Ramo is cuter." Purple smiles and says, What should I do? I don't want Ramo to hate me." Tance is horrified as he adds, "I don't like killing my best friend's family." Purple's eyes glow ominously as he raises a card. "Well, soon I'll send Ramo to you." Shimmering purple energy slices through the air toward Tance. Tance's eyes widen in pure terror before the inevitable attack. Suddenly, the mask pushes Tance away, taking the hit himself. Purple is surprised. A mercenary from the red light district? Tance shouts Kim, and the mask reproaches her. "That's why I told you not to come. You'd only get in the way." An energy slash appears on the mask's neck. He holds his head. Purple is impressed. "Wow, amazing. You're alive even though your head was cut off?" Tance, enraged, lunges forward. "You're immortal? I've never heard of such fast regeneration, you purple-collared dog!" She attacks Purple, who readies a card thinking, "Either that or you have some trick." Purple launches a card charged with purple energy directly at the flying Tance. Tance is thrown back by the blow. She despairingly asks, "How do I defeat this guy?" The mask rises, his body enveloped in a red aura. "All right, I've decided." The mask soars into the air, breaking apart. Purple watches. If you kill him again and again, he will stop regenerating. The mask transforms. His body is wrapped in red energy like woven threads. Purple attacks with cards, and the mask's body shatters into pieces under purple flashes. The killer stands over the remains. "So weak, yet you plan to save Ramo? Don't underestimate the Blue Moon City." Purple continues, looking at a piece of the mask. "I heard the guy in the red mask kills subcontractors. I expected more." He turns away from the defeated enemy. "It would be more fun if you were even a little stronger." Tance watches anxiously. "He's constantly being cut. He doesn't have time to regenerate. We need to buy time." Falling to her knees, Tance shouts, "What do you mean I'll send Ramo to you soon? Are you going to kill her?" Purple, eyes blazing, replies, "Oh, you didn't know? All right, I'll explain why giant food is holding Ramo." He shocks Tance with the statement, "Ramo is an ingredient." The girl doesn't believe it. An ingredient? Purple reveals the secret. Chairman Og has cancer. He's over 100, so it's expected. He's been sick for a long time. Purple explains, "Even with Blue Moon City's medicine, the chairman's cancer is incurable." The killer continues, "Og is one of the heroes of the past, but his cancer is extraordinarily strong." Purple reveals, to endure the pain, he ate increasingly stimulating food, spiraling downhill. Suddenly, a brilliant scientist appeared, offering treatment. The scientist demanded to find a girl whose components match 90% of the substance in the vial. Chairman Og used all his influence, but no perfect match was found. Purple smirks, showing cards, and then Og hit the jackpot. 2 kidnapped girls fit. Tance is horrified as Purple says, "One of them will be drained of blood and left to die." The killer adds, "And now Og eats people, so she will just be a snack. This is my last gift before your death." Tance shouts in rage, "We won't let you touch Ramo or Hyunjong." Purple sharply turns at Tance's shout, "Kim, isn't that right?" The mask, leaving, throws over his shoulder. "Right. If even a scratch is on those girls." He turns around, eyes blazing red. "I'll chop you up just like you did to me." Purple dodges a lightning-fast attack. His eye glows ominously. The mask delivers a crushing blow, but Purple blocks it with a hand wrapped in purple energy. The killer is surprised. His card is stopped. Blocked? The mask declares with fury in his eyes. No more card games. He swings for a crushing strike. His fist is wrapped in swirling red energy. Purple panics and raises a shield of cards, thinking, I have to stop this. The mask's red beam pierces the defense, scattering cards and rushing toward the target. Purple spits blood. His eyes widen from the power of the mask's strike. He coughs, stunned. How can one hit be so strong, even when your mask is cracking? The mask soars into the air again, preparing to unleash another strike on Purple. The mask's strike shakes the ground, creating a huge crater and throwing Purple back. Purple clings to a building wall, complaining, Stop fooling me. If your regeneration is so effective, how am I supposed to win? He defiantly looks at the mask. Really? Sparks flare near his hand. Suddenly, Tans appears, surrounded by lightning. If you can't win, there's only one way out. Tans smiles and announces, Lose. Purple looks annoyed. Purple stands over the defeated mask, whose red energy is still visible. A powerful explosion shakes the building, rising into the night sky. Blood drops in the foreground. Purple on the roof under the moon challenges, I won't die here. Maimed, he smirks. You think I'll die like some NPC? His bloodied card demands a close look. Purple shows the Joker. This card will do God's work. He again emphasizes the card soaked in his blood. The killer with the Joker in hand repeats, This card decides fate. Purple throws the Joker card down toward the mask and Tans. The Joker card falls right between them, causing alarm. The bloodied Joker lies on the asphalt, foretelling something ominous. Tans looks confused at the empty roof. Nothing? Ah, he disappeared? A shout echoes over the night city. We fell for his trap! A man in orange glasses and a burgundy jacket says, Rosul. Rosul, now blonde, relaxes with two nurses greeting the newcomer. Yo! The man is puzzled. What the hell are you doing? Rosul jokes about his hand. The wall ate it. Rosul explains, That mercenary from the red light district, no, he's the guardian of one of the kidnapped girls. The boss clarifies, Is that how your hand got like that? Rosul stubbornly replies, I told you the wall. The man interrupts, Enough. The boss asks, Why did you even get involved with such a dangerous guy? Rosul admits, He's a monster, practically immortal. The man frowns. For the first time, Rosul, the best killer, failed. Looks like his opponent is the strongest on the streets. The boss leaves, saying, There are more important matters, rest. Rosul stays with the nurses. Rosul is surprised. What could be more important? A nurse offers, Rosul, want some cake? Rosul, now blonde with one hand, enters with a cake, smiling. Hey friends, I brought cake. Rosul's expression suddenly changes. He seriously says, No, still holding the cake. Suddenly, people in black drag away a girl with a bag over her head. A friend shouts, Uni, let her go! A guard roughly pushes the girl to the floor. If you don't want to get hurt, step back. The kidnapper carries away Hyunjong, and Rosul watches indifferently. The girl tearfully begs Rosul, Sir, help! These people are taking Hyunjong. She continues, covering her mouth with her hand. I feel so sorry for her. We can't just let her go. With desperation in her voice, she pleads, I know they'll hurt her. Please bring her back. The girl falls to her knees before Rosul, whispering, Please. Suddenly, the mask in his suit rushes down the street at incredible speed, his eyes glowing red. The mask lands in front of a car. The asphalt cracks from the impact. The shocked driver peeks out. What was that? While Tans and the team approach. Tans, surrounded by lightning, is already in the car. I'll borrow your ride for a second. The driver is stunned. Tans throws the driver out and commands the others. Everyone in the car! The car with Tans at the wheel speeds away. The former owner shouts, Carjacker! A passenger asks Tans, Why did Kim snap like that? She replies, He's angry. He feels his child is in danger. The mask rushes, his eyes burning red. He shouts, Hyunjong, and Tans adds, It's a miracle he was calm until now. Scene change. A hand holds a paper bag. Someone says, Phew, barely got cold medicine. A young man with the bag hopes, I hope this helps Soyun get better. An elder reassures him about the doctor. The youth smiles. I hope so, when suddenly a gloved hand grabs him from behind. The gloved hand pulls the youth back, the medicine falls, and the elder shouts, Teacher Kim! Teacher Kim, sweating, wonders, why did you do that? A small disheveled girl laughs loudly, sitting on the ground. The girl, arms outstretched, asks, Please give me at least a little. Scrap metal is good, but I'll take food too. Teacher Kim replies regretfully, Sorry, no money, but if this works. The director leads Kim away. We have nothing now, let's go. The girl watches them leave. Kim protests, Director, how can you just leave? The child asked for help. The director explains, Probably forced by parents. Teacher Kim is shocked. Parents force children to beg? The director confirms, These are the slums, that's their strategy. The director seriously adds, And yet I find this situation problematic. The girl sits alone, and from the darkness, predatory eyes watch her. Even if she gets something, the beast-like people around will take it all. The director admits, and yet, it worries me a little, recalling the girl's smile. A blood-red moon ominously lights up the night sky. An empty bowl crashes to the floor amid a furious scream. You useless trash! A man hits the girl in the face, growling, The plate is empty! He angrily points at her. Wandering all day and brought nothing! The girl fearfully lowers her eyes as he yells, Begging is hard, huh? Is it tough for you, damn it? He grabs her by the hair, bending her to the ground. Like this, bow to the ground, then they'll pity you and give you crumbs. The girl, pressed to the floor, murmurs with a strange smile, Sorry, Dad. His face twists with rage. Then don't you dare mess up. He looms over her threateningly. Disappoint me again. I'll sell you to the red light district. Got it? The girl with a bloodied face and a creepy smile replies, Yes, father. Her battered hand reaches for his leg. She whispers, I love you. The man is furious despite her words. His face is contorted with anger. He kicks her away, shouting, Why were you even born? The father, crazed, growls, Damn it, you piss me off so much, let's just die together. Suddenly, a powerful blow sends the man flying, splinters flying in all directions. The director, clenching his fist, says, Hard to believe. Teacher Kim stands behind. The director holds the fiend by the leg, saying, That from such a devil like you, such an angel was born. The director, tears in his eyes, shouts, A parent must care and help their child grow by being there. Gripping the man's throat, he continues, Not humiliate and boss around. I'll explain so even trash like you understands. The director, with tears in his eyes and a blazing gaze, declares, I'll explain to you by making you taste your own medicine. The beaten father, choking on tears, pleads, I'm sorry, please, stop. The director continues to strike, growling, Why the hell should I stop? Blood sprays from the blows. The director shouts, If I hadn't come here now, today and tomorrow. He holds the father by the collar, adding, And the day after tomorrow, you would never have stopped your abuse. A small, bruised girl's hand clings to the director's trouser leg. She whispers, Grandpa. The girl on the floor begs, Please don't hit my dad. Please don't hurt him. The director, looking at the girl, softens. I won't touch your father anymore, but only on one condition. The scene changes, a dark, dense forest under a starry night sky. The director carries the sleeping girl in his arms through the forest, while Teacher Kim walks beside with a bag. Teacher Kim doubts. Director, is it right to separate a child from their parents? The director replies, There is no clear answer to that. The director, carrying the sleeping girl, promises, But I will do everything so she won't regret coming with us. He adds with conviction, Because if hearts care for each other, we are family, even without blood ties. A sharp scene change. The huge Chairman Og on his throne notes, And you are quite fast. A man with glasses stands before him. Professor Nogel appears, a skeleton-like man in a cloak, greeting, Long time no see, Chairman Og. Og replies with a sinister smile, I'm still the same tired patient. Nogel promises, Today you will return as the city's hero. Professor Nogel casts a creepy glance aside. Haven't seen you in a while either, little one. The girl, now clean and changed, sits on a chair and calmly greets, Hello. Nogel praises her appearance with a frightening smile, adding, "You will make a wonderful medical ingredient." The man with glasses urges, "Let's speed up the procedure, Professor Nogel." He agrees. "All right." Nogel prepares a syringe with a creepy smile. "It will hurt a little." The professor announces, "That's it, we're done." The man with glasses is surprised. "Already?" The girl with a bandage on her arm asks, "Is that all?" Nogel confirms, "Yes, now she is a medical ingredient." Nogel points to the girl. "She must be used within 30 minutes after breakfast and dinner." The professor explains maliciously, "I heard Chairman Og prefers flesh, so this method is better." Og, with glowing eyes, reaches for her. "I ate recently, can I have her right now?" Nogel holds the girl back. "I just gave the injection, we need to wait 10 minutes for it to take effect." The professor sets a timer exactly for 10 minutes. The countdown begins. Chairman Og impatiently looks down. If it's only 10 minutes? A sudden scream interrupts them. Og roars, "I know you're there! Come out immediately!" The man with glasses anxiously asks over the radio, "Security, what's going on?" A guard panics and reports, "Be Barry, sir! Some monster is rampaging in the hall." Barry is surprised. "You mean he was screaming all the way from the hall?" The girl joyfully recognizes the voice. "Yeonjun, I'm here. That's the teacher's voice." She screams back, and Barry looks at her. "Teacher, I'm on the top floor." Barry's radio crackles with a question. "Is that you, Hyunjun?" Barry replies coldly into the radio. "That's right, your child is with us." The director, standing over the defeated, promises over the radio, "Wait there, I'm coming for you." He stands with his back among the bodies, and a bold reply comes over the radio. "Do you underestimate a large company too much?" Barry hisses angrily in response, "You're as much a fool as Hyalo!" Chairman Og, eyes flashing, growls at Barry, "How dare you speak like that about Hyalo?" Og orders Barry, "Tell him to come up here." Barry hesitates. "But Chairman..." The chairman stomps his foot, explaining, "Hyalo gave me strength when I was suffering from cancer." The huge Og declares, "I must personally avenge him." Og looks threateningly at Barry. "Or do you underestimate me?" Barry reluctantly agrees. "Fine." The director with a scarlet eye answers firmly over the radio. Barry points out the elevator to the director over the radio, surrounded by defeated guards. "Get in." Barry warns, "On the way up, we'll throw all our forces at you," dropping the radio. The director enters the elevator and Barry continues, "If you make it, you'll meet Og and the child." The elevator doors close. Barry hopes the director's skills will be enough for the encounter. Guards with swords prepare to attack the director as soon as the elevator doors open. They shout furiously, "How dare you defy the nation's hero? Die!" unleashing their blows. A dark silhouette and spreading liquid are visible under the elevator doors. The elevator indicator shows the 5th floor, arrow pointing up. The elevator rushes upward rapidly, now on the 52nd floor out of 60. Barry shouts in disbelief into the radio, "How is this possible? The elevator is just going up." His angry voice comes again from the radio. "How dare you call yourselves employees with such pathetic skills?" The chairman's special forces on the 59th floor report to Barry, "We'll stop him here." Elite fighters, including a man with a flaming head, prepare to attack as soon as the doors open. One monstrous guard growls, "If we don't stop him here, he'll reach the very top." The elite fighters of Giant Food Corporation are ready to show their true strength. The elevator arrives at the 59th floor, the last barrier before Chairman Og's chambers. Experienced guards of the 59th floor were confident they would stop him here. However, horror distorts their faces at the sight of who stepped out of the elevator. Before them stood a dark figure that exceeded all their expectations. The scarlet glow on the elevator walls is a reminder of the fate of previous guards. In his eyes, they saw death itself, foretelling their own doom. The chairman's special forces instinctively understood. Even united, they could not win. Sorry, we can't win," a trembling voice reports over the radio. Barry furiously breaks the radio, realizing that whoever is in the elevator has instilled indescribable fear. Og cracks his knuckles. "So Gourmet Company didn't lose to him by chance. He is destined to fight me." Chairman Og, eyes burning and fanged mouth roaring, "Come here!" The timer resets. Elevator doors part, bathed in crimson light. The director, covered in foreign blood with scarlet eyes, steps out of the elevator exuding menace. While Kim was making his way to the top floor, Panda was also not idle, fighting her way through. Panda searched for Ramo in another building, scattering guards left and right. Panda notes that although most of the guards went after Kim, there are still plenty here. Panda assumes that Ramo and the girl Kim is looking for might be in this building. Someone's confident footsteps approach, and a voice with an accent asks about the noise. A green-haired guy with food in his mouth greets the uninvited guest with a pun. The green-haired man, brushing his teeth, inquires about the hygiene of the uninvited guests, introducing himself as Pliers, the third commander of Giant Food. Panda is puzzled by his mumbling as he continues a lecture on the benefits of toothbrushing. A guard recognizes the formidable Pliers in horror, one of the corporation's top officials. Panda wonders about Pliers' strength, and the guard suggests that if Barry is the chairman's right hand, then Pliers must be his left hand as he calmly wipes his mouth. Pliers coldly asks the guard why he abandoned his post and ended up here. The guard is surprised that Pliers remembers him, since they only briefly met at a ceremony. Pliers states he remembers faces because in the food industry it's key to success, and names the guard Bekwa. Pliers recalls that Bekwa is a subordinate of that psychopath policeman whose image appears behind him. Bekwa is shocked that Pliers nearly insulted his boss and suddenly realizes something. Bekwa bows low to Pliers while Panda looks on puzzled at the scene. The guard points at Panda and her companion, accusing them of killing Hyal-O before Pliers. Panda is shocked by the betrayal, and her companion exclaims, "I knew he would do it." Bekwa contemptuously declares he never considered them comrades, fully betraying them. Bekwa begs Pliers to arrest the criminals, and Pliers seems to begin understanding the situation. Pliers grimly says, "Street trash threatening Giant Food. I won't let this go." Pliers activates the ability Feast in the Mouth, his mouth monstrously distorting. Something eerie emerges from deep within his mouth. Pliers prepares to attack. First, Pliers fires a powerful green beam from his mouth, fanged spit, directly at Panda. The beam pierces Panda's arm, blood sprays, and her companion screams in horror, "Teacher Panda!" Pliers smirks maliciously, saying he aimed for the head, but Panda dodged. Panda, holding her wounded arm, asks her companion, "Again. Next." Pliers attacks again. Front tooth knife. The beam barely misses Panda, knocking her companion off her feet. The companion panics, shouting that he uses his teeth as weapons, while Panda advises caution. Pliers soars into the air, his tongue extending, and the girl wonders, he's not a dentist, so why is he like this? A giant attack from Pliers descends from above, threshing fang. Panda activates matter hardening, tensing her arm muscles for a counterattack. Panda's powerful strike meets Pliers' attack, creating a colossal explosion of energy. Pliers lands, acknowledging Panda's strength, but states his broken teeth instantly regrow. Panda, whose arm is bleeding heavily, realizes, just as I thought, in an endurance battle, he has the advantage. The director, looking at Og, understands that brute force alone won't be enough here. Before him stand two figures, a familiar scientist and a man in a suit. Kim looks at the huge fat man in a suit. Is this really Chairman Og? The pink-haired girl looks at him in surprise. Teacher? The scientist addresses Kim. So you're the guardian from the school because of whom our truck didn't return. The director thinks, Hyunjin is a hostage? No, they called her an ingredient so they won't harm her. Og asks Professor Nogel, how much time? 2 minutes. That's enough, replies the chairman. Og's face twists with malice as he growls, this is for Hyal-O. Og proclaims, you will be the beginning of my resurrection ceremony. The director looks at Og with hatred. So this is the one responsible for kidnapping children. The director, with a burning scarlet eye, says, I cannot forgive you. Kim, covered in blood, swings, I'll send you to your beloved Hyal-O. Og is furious, his eyes glowing, fangs bared in a beastly snarl. The director delivers a crushing blow, flooding everything with crimson light and blood. The force of the strike shatters the top floor of the skyscraper into pieces. Professor Nogel and the girl recoil in horror from the epicenter of the explosion. Nogel, covering his face, can't believe his eyes. Wow, with one blow... Chairman Og. The scientist looks at the fallen giant. The director, with a broken mask and determined gaze, stands over the enemy. Chairman Og lies on the floor, the director towering over him, victorious. The director has won, but Professor Nogel stands behind him, hiding something. Kim looks at Nogel in surprise. You're still here? Nogel coldly states, "You don't look stronger than Chairman Og, and yes, I'm still here." The scientist smirks, "Because the battle hasn't even begun yet," pointing at Og's body. The director notices something wrong. Og's blood? It begins to move. A monstrous vampire rises from the pool of blood. "Noble blood, vampire!" Og in his new form says, "First time using this form since the war," as if awakened from sleep. Monster Og admits, "That was a powerful blow. Hard to believe my human body shattered like pudding." The director is puzzled looking at the resurrected giant Og. Kim is back in fighting stance, his eye blazing red, ready for a new battle. The director attacks Og, but his fist passes through the bloody mass. Og explains that his body is now a single flow of blood, not just a head. Og's bloody mass squeezes the director, boasting about its ability to change density. Spikes grow from Og's body, piercing the director. Og shouts, "That's why I became blue blood." The director bleeds profusely, and Og declares this power makes him the top in the city. Nogel confidently looks at Og, anticipating his victory over the street amateur. However, remembering the opponent's strength, Nogel decides to play it safe and contacts via radio. Learning that Razul is closest to the children, Nogel orders another child to be brought. An assistant whispers something into Razul's ear, a one-armed man in a black shirt. Razul sits in a room where another child plays on the floor, obviously the next ingredient. Razul acknowledges the child's cleverness for guessing where Hyunjin was taken. The little one lowers their head, uncertainly confirming, "Yes, probably." Razul declares that since that's the case, he no longer needs to pretend to be a friend and tells him to go. The child, without raising their eyes, says, "I have one last question for you." The little one recalls, "At first, this strange place scared me. I didn't like that you were kind for profit. But over time, I was happy because I had you and Hyunjin." A child's drawing lies on the table. The child sadly says, "It's a pity we met under less than ideal circumstances." Razul waits for the question. The little one, sitting with their back turned, asks, "Do you consider me, us, your friends?" Razul's face freezes in surprise at the unexpected question. Razul smirks maliciously, "Not at all." Razul cynically states, "The city paid me to take care of you. Were you really happy just because of my kindness?" He continues with contempt, "Too bad, but I never felt any attachment to you, fool." Suddenly, Razul's face distorts in shock as if struck unexpectedly. Razul collapses helplessly to the floor, struck by an invisible force. Lying on the floor, Razul shouts, "What did you do to me?" And the little one replies, "It was me who killed Hyunjin." Razul confusedly asks again, "What do you mean you killed her?" The child answers mysteriously, "Who knows?" The little one, clutching their head, admits, "I could have saved Hyunjin, could have escaped, but I didn't do it for her." A scene of caring for Hyunjin surfaces in his memory. "I decided to stay so they would choose me instead of her." The hooded child bitterly says, "But now that Hyunjin is taken, everything is meaningless." Clenching his fists, the little one continues, "Sir, I am a worthless and calculating child." The child with a burning aura proclaims, "Do you know the unwritten law of people with abilities?" He reveals the secret of his power. "My ability, Morning of Repentance, has a precise condition. If you lie to me 100 times, I can control you." A golden bird soars above Razul. The child whispers with tears of gratitude, "Thank you for just lying to me." Meanwhile, Nogel's assistant is nervous. "He's taking too long. Should we check on him?" An agent peeks into the room. "Razul, we need to hurry." Suddenly, a playing card pierces the agent's forehead, blood splattering. Razul steps over the body, agreeing, "Of course, we should hurry." Razul's subordinate with a bird on his shoulder walks with the child. "There will be trouble if Barry finds out." A diagram shows the heroes, Kim, Og, and the girl in one building, Razul with the child in another. Kim, wounded but unyielding, stands on his feet. Og Monster is surprised by Kim's resilience. Kim smirks, talking about his immortality. Og laughs at Kim's claim. Og asks if Kim really considers himself immortal. Kim contemplates Og's words. Og talks about who grants abilities. Kim begins to feel pain. Kim falls to one knee, writhing in pain. Og explains that he injected his blood into Kim. Og gloats, "No matter how fast you regenerate, you'll melt to death first." Kim's chest is torn from within by streams of alien blood. Kim kneels, his body rejecting Og's blood, leaving bloody marks. Og declares he has extracted all of Kim's blood, acknowledging his resilience. Kim curses Og, thinking how to freeze this bat. Recalling Og's power, Kim realizes simple tricks won't work on the war hero. Kim admits with frustration that he can't defeat Og right now. An assistant reminds Og that the timer has stopped and it's time to take the medicine. Og decides to take the medicine first, anticipating a long fight. Seizing the moment, Kim grabs the girl and makes a desperate escape. Og's assistant is stunned. What? What kind of explosive speed is that? Hard to react. Kim with the girl in his arms? The assistant thinks the desire to save the child gave him strength. Og monster roars in rage. That's my medicine! The girl in Kim's arms says, Revenge isn't the priority now. It's important to get Hyunjun to safety. Kim looks around the empty hall, pondering. But where to? With a shout of, Forward! Kim rushes through the hall with the girl in his arms. Kim at a dark staircase. If we take this staircase, will we reach the first floor? The huge Og catches up to them, shouting, I won't let you escape! Kim places the girl by the stairs. Hyunjun, I'll stay here to buy time. You go ahead. Kim looks at the girl resolutely. You can go down on your own, right? Kim encourages the girl, because you're my strong Hyunjun. He gently nudges her, signaling it's time to run. The huge Og crashes down from above. Kim looks up in horror at the looming threat. Kim's face twists in a furious scream. He's ready to fight the monster back. Kim strikes the giant's leg with incredible force, cracking the floor beneath him. Monster Og towers over tiny Kim amid the rubble. An assistant panics and runs shouting, Chairman! While another watches. The observer decides to leave. The fight is getting too big. This isn't my place. Below, two hear the crash. He's still holding out against Chairman Og? The ceiling collapses. Og breaks through the floor, forcing those below to flee. Og roars in fury. First you stole the medicine, now you're destroying the building. I'll grind you to dust. Kim decides to bring down the building to temporarily bury the monster under the rubble. He realizes he must buy time so Hyunjin can escape. Kim continues to attack the giant, shouting to himself, Don't stop, go ahead! Og, pierced by a column, orders Kim to break the floor again. The monster Og does not believe that he is being pressured by some street thug. Meanwhile, Hyunjin descends the stairs, and Og regrets not taking the medicine earlier. Og shouts to his assistant, Barry, change tactics, release the blood! Barry readily replies, Yes, sir, approaching Og. Kim looks suspiciously at Barry. That bastard has been watching all along. What is he planning? Barry activates his ability, the world in his pockets, and his cloak billows. His cloak is a storage with a daily limit, capable of holding even liquid. By Og's order, Barry had been storing his blood daily, which now gushes out. The accumulated volume of blood is comparable to a tsunami, and Barry unleashes it on Og. After all, blood is the source of a vampire's power, and its flows fill everything around. The blood intended for Og's full recovery is now being released. Og rapidly approaches the peak of his power, absorbing the crimson wave. Meanwhile, Hyunjin runs down the stairs without looking back. In her haste, the girl stumbles and falls on the steps. Hyunjin tumbles down the long staircase. Hyunjin lies on the floor with a broken nose. Oh no, I fell. The girl looks down sadly, whispering, Teacher. Kim's words flash in her memory. You can come down by yourself, right? Because you are my strong Hyunjin. Hyunjin resolutely gets up, repeating, Yes, I am strong. Meanwhile, Og's voice reflects on strength. A body stronger than a bear, speed of a horse, grip of an alligator. Three figures symbolizing these strengths look ahead as Og continues. But no matter how strong they are, before the power of nature they are nothing, and a bloody tsunami crashes down on them. Kim desperately fights the crimson stream, while Og mocks, This is the limit of human capability. Kim, engulfed by the bloody wave, fiercely looks at the enemy. The huge Og, grown even larger from the blood, laughs. Even your super strength can't overcome this sea. Kim, wounded, struggles in the bloody sea, steam coming from his mouth. Og mocks, Just give up and accept your end. The giant Og, resembling a bat, looms over Kim. It's over. The monster Og admits, I'm in trouble. The backlash from the superpower is more than I thought. Og's bloody form rushes down the stairs. I urgently need to get my medicine back. The blood flow continues. Og thinks, I feel the young and healthy blood of the girl. Hyunjin on the stair landing looks in horror at the approaching threat. The girl's face is distorted with fear. Blood still flows from her broken nose. Bloody Og appears on the wall above Hyunjun, shouting, "I found you!" Kim rushes to intercept the monster, realizing Hyunjun is in danger. Kim, bleeding profusely, realizes, "I have to save her, but my body is almost destroyed. Apparently, I can't defeat the blue blood alone." Suddenly, a figure in a red mask appears before Kim. "You must return." A flashback ignites. A wounded old man says, you promised them. You must protect the future of the children." The masked figure hovers over the wounded Kim, insistently repeating, "You promised." A new vision. Kim embraces Hyunjin and a voice whispers, "You promised her, you must return." A mysterious red eye addresses the masked figure. "I am the author, guiding those who wear this mask." The voice from the red eye continues, "That you cannot remove the mask means you were not honest with your emotions." The eye pressures Kim. "Aren't you angry? Don't you care what will happen to the girl? No!" Kim's mask cracks under the pressure of the voice. "Then let your true emotions break free." Hyunjin watches in horror as bloody Og looms over her, but Kim's scissors are already flying at the monster. Hyunjin covers her ears in terror, whispering, "I won't." Kim stands before her, eyes blazing. "I won't let another child be lost." Bloody Og roars in confusion. How much stronger can you still become?" The monster doesn't understand. His power comes from blood. But how does this guy grow stronger from willpower alone? Og threatens, "No matter if you've grown stronger, I'll devour you along with the girl." Kim screams fiercely, "No way!" and rushes down the stairs. His eyes blaze, focused. "I need just one hit." Kim unleashes a hail of invisible fists on the enemy. Og's bloody form writhes under the barrage of blows. Og panics. "His fists don't even touch me, yet I'm being torn apart." Og is shocked. "Is this wind pressure? He's creating it with his fists and it's lifting me?" Kim, covered in blood with burning eyes, lets out a furious roar, releasing his power. Og's bloody mass is forcefully thrown down the stairwell. The monster breaks through the building's wall, flying outside from the impact. Kim delivers a concentrated strike of pure energy on Og. Og roars in rage and pain. "That bastard!" Kim, breathing heavily, looks at the result of his attack in confusion. The hero hovers in the air, looking down at Og's huge bloody form below.
To be continued.